It's 9:03. I'd like to call it Adams County Board of Supervisors meeting to order. Mr. Bradford, would you give us the invocation?
Let us stand. Let us bow here. Oh, gracious and wise Father, we thank you this morning, oh God, for allowing us to see another day, oh Father. And Father, we just ask, oh God, you continue to uplift our elected officials, Father. Continue to keep them, oh God, in perfect peace, oh God. Father, we just pray for our first responders. We pray for our nurses, our doctors. We pray for our schools. And Father, we just pray for everyone in this county to make up this great county. And we ask, oh God, you continue to let us abide in your will and your ways. Father, we just pray for peace, oh Father. We just pray for strength amongst these county, the city, the state, and this country, oh God. Father, we just pray for Israel. Father, pray for our soldiers and our troops that are spread abroad. And Father, we just continue to just move in our hearts and let our minds be free. And thanking of you, oh God. Father, we just pray for our finances in this county. Father, continue to allow new businesses to come into this county. And let us grow, God. And Father, we just thank you right now. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I do pledge in unison. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, I need approval for the October. Roll call. Roll call, Officer Supervisor Gray.
Present.
Supervisor Hutchins.
Here.
Supervisor Middleton.
Present.
Supervisor Wilson.
Here.
Deputy Clerk Paige Dean.
Present.
Chancellor Clerk Brandon Lewis.
Present.
Attorney Scott Slover. And I am present. Now I need approval for the minutes.
So moved.
It's been properly moved by Supervisor Hutchins. Properly second by Supervisor Middleton. Will there be any discussion? If there be no discussion, all in favor vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right. Motion carried unanimously. Now I need approval of the docket.
So moved.
It's been properly moved by Supervisor Wilson. Second, did it get a second? Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been properly second by Supervisor Gray. Will there be any discussion?
Yes, sir, Mr. President. Ms. Lewis, is one of these dealing with the insurance, is one of these the one we called in about?
It has to be out.
Is one of them one of the ones we called in about?
Yes.
The 17?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Well, if there be no more discussion, all in favor vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right. Motion carried unanimously. I need approval of the monthly financial report for the Sheriff's Department.
So moved.
It's been properly moved by Supervisor Hutchins.
Thanks.
Properly second by Supervisor Wilson. Will there be any discussion? If there be no discussion, all in favor vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right. I need approval for the monthly financial report for the Chancellor Clerk's office. It's been properly moved by Supervisor Middleton. Properly second by Supervisor Wilson. Will there be any discussion? If there be no discussion, all in favor vote by using the sign of aye. If any opposed, nays have the same right. Motion carried unanimously. Now I need monthly approval of the monthly report for the purchasing department. Been properly moved by Supervisor Middleton.
Second.
Properly second by Supervisor Wilson. There be any discussion? If there be no discussion, all in favor vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right. Motion carried unanimously. All right, down the county business. But listen, granting neighborhood concerns.
Yes.
You here? Can we go to the mic?
Is everything fine?
We can hear you.
Okay, great. My name
name is Melissa Granny. I'm married to Chip Granny, and I'm a resident of Adams County. This is obviously my first meeting for supervisors, but I'm very concerned about the proposed oil field waste disposal being located in Adams County, not just in South Adams County where I live, but anywhere in Adams County. I understand, Kevin, that you're the largest independent oil producer in the state of Mississippi. That's what the Democrat had said.
That's what the oil and gas board said.
That's what the oil and gas board says. I would hope that there would be an industrial area that would be a better location for this shop. I understand that you own the property and that this is your business. But I really think that there would be some better sites for this. I have some questions that I'm really not sure about, and I'm sure that maybe you can help me out. When Amy Blunt came to the meeting last month,
Apparently, you're gonna have to talk to the rest of the board. I'm gonna have to recuse myself.
Okay, well, I'll just put up my concern. I'm not certain when Amy
The
Blunt
minutes need to
came.
reflect that he's recused himself from the discussion.
I wasn't present at last month's meeting, so I don't know that when Amy Blunt came to talk to you about this process, and, was it made apparent that she and Kevin are in business together with this LLC that's gonna locate this? I mean, was that said at the beginning of the meeting? Maybe I should ask Scott. Scott, was that said at the beginning of the meeting?
No, that didn't, that didn't.
Okay.
Was it said at the end of the meeting? Maybe at the end of the.
Oh, but not when
No.
she first came up?
No.
Okay.
Mr. President, I can answer that. Ms. Blunt came before the board and, mentioned something about an oil landfill, and I started questioning her, of the location, and I started, asking questions, and, to my knowledge of being in this county, when you put a landfill or anything close to a neighborhood, people gonna have some concerns. So after I started asking questions, that was when Supervisor Wilson, said that he owned the property.
Okay.
That's how that conversation came up, and, that's where we went from there.
Okay, but he didn't say, this is my company that is asking
To
for.
my knowledge,
Okay, because to me,
Ma'am.
just, I think it would have been nice to know that information to begin with, but anyway, that's,
It
so
was disclosed during the meeting, I don't remember.
during the meeting, okay. So he'll have to, and I'm not really familiar with how that works, so he'll have to recuse himself. Now, if, you know, because I understand Adams County,
Yeah.
small county, everybody does business with everybody. If one of the supervisors is going to be doing business with that company, do they have to recuse themselves, Scott?
So supervisors, like any other citizen, are allowed to ask, and allowed to go before the board for zoning questions.
Right,
And that was what was asked. It was not a approval for the project or
so this
any
is
type
just
of
a
permitting, hold on a
zoning.
second, any type of permitting or anything like that. It was simply a request for the board to state whether it did or did not have any zoning ordinances in place, which the county does not have any zoning ordinances for anybody or any ordeal with it. But since that was a question about zoning before the board, the supervisor should have recused himself for any discussions going on with that. We talked to the ethics commission, the head of the ethics commission about it. The decision was not actually made during that time, and that's why we asked him to, or he recused himself now.
Okay.
But this was not an approval of the project by the board.
Right.
It simply was a question about whether there was an ordinance or zoning that would prohibit its, being constructed and whatnot, which there are no zoning requirements. Brad brought up that they might have to go ask about the floodplain ordinance. Is that right, Brad? And so that's what was directed from there.
Okay, and also, in the Democrat, Amy Blunt said, my business here today is very preliminary to the permitting process. We have come back before your board for an amendment to your local waste management plan. This is her quote from the Democrat. What amendment to the local waste management, what does that mean? Why would they need an amendment? Is this waste gonna be buried on Kevin Wilson's property? Or is this waste gonna be buried in the landfill? Because they did this in Jefferson County and now the landfill's closed. So I'm really concerned about what that means. I'm a little confused.
I don't know whether our waste management plan was asked to be amended or the board
We have
took that under
come back
consideration.
before your board for an.
I understand what your quote says.
Yes.
I wasn't under any understanding of requesting a ordinance or a waste management plan or anything
Should
like
say
that.
you have to
Yeah.
come back, my apologies.
The only thing that was before the board was a question about zoning.
Okay, and then the other issue, which I've already mentioned, is, Kevin said, we used to have a place in Jefferson County at the dump up there, but that dump is in such bad shape, we can't do that anymore. So, you know, I don't understand, like, I understand just from reading it, there's gonna be a centrifuge involved. They're gonna be separating solid and waste, solid and liquid. I'm not sure where that water will be disposed of. I'm assuming some sort of injection well, you know. So that water will have to be trucked back out. It can't be put on the ground. The solids, I don't know if they're gonna be buried, but my other concern is, he talked about taking waste from 5 states, and how many trucks a day is that going to be? Where are they gonna park while they're waiting to unload? When they unload, is the material in barrels? I think he referred to canisters. I'd like to know more about that. Or is it put into a pit? If it's put into a pit, all those chemicals can mix. You don't know what's being put into the pit, and they can become toxic and when dispersed. And I think we need a lot more information other than from the potential business owner. I think the information needs to come from, I'd like to hear from MDEQ. I'd like to hear from maybe an environmental toxicologist and find out what we're actually signing up for, because this does not sound like it needs to be in an industrial area and not in an area that's adjacent to the National Wildlife Refuge, to the Homenschitzer River. All that property, if you look at a topographical map, it drains to the Homenschitzer. He is on the south side of Shieldsboro, and if you ride out there, all that property is just straight towards the Homenschitzer. There's some farmland, and I know there's some adjacent property owners that probably are not thrilled about it. Let's see if I have any other concerns. Also, I think that's, for the time being, I think that's kind of, and also, I'm kind of curious, a lot of people in that area have water wells, what's the effect on groundwater? We need a lot more information, and Scott, I understand what you're saying, that this is the initial process, and it was about zoning.
And it's not our process, it's MDEQ would obviously have to permit all that stuff.
Right.
If you're asking us to give, because we're just like you, we don't know the details of that stuff, it's our expertise. That's MDEQ's job, is to make sure permitting goes correctly and all that. This was just a question about whether we have zoning, industrial, business, residential areas. You don't have that in Adams County, there's lots of counties like that, you don't have that. So that's all that was being asked for this particular board. The way her wording was, as part of an application to amend the local solid waste management plan, we are being asked to provide a letter from a county official that basically acknowledges that there are no planning and zoning restrictions or requirements that would prevent the property from being developed in this manner. So it was a zoning question, and not even a yes or no, can they do it? It was just a statement as to whether we have zoning regulations, which we don't.
Okay, And then also, just a general question in the process, will there be public hearings about this before these votes are made? Okay.
I would assume there would be, whenever there's zoning, whenever there's NDEQ waste plans, they have public hearings and so forth. You see-
Wait, public hearings like in Jackson at MD?
It won't be, I know, that won't be our public hearing, it won't be the county's public hearing, that'll be MDQ's public hearing.
Okay. And so will y'all be voting at all about, what about the amendment to the landfill? Y'all be voting on that?
That hadn't come up before, I don't know anything about it.
Well, we're, being
I'm just-
told that it's gonna be coming up, so.
Well, I'm not sure about that, we not voting on that either. That's waste management project. Waste management has their own, dump down there, that the county don't own it, we won't vote on it.
Okay. Well, as a citizen, Wes, you're my supervisor, I vote no. So just, I'm not sure if you're gonna hear from anyone else, but that's really all I had left.
Yeah, when that comes up, the board certainly can make sure that they talk to the constituents and make sure it's a full discussion and answer any questions about it.
Well,
But that's not what was being asked at this point, it was simply a question of yes or no, are there zoning requirements?
Mr. President,
With, no.
Yeah, I just want to say that this came to us at the same time it came to you all. It was news to us when they presented it last meeting. It was the first I'd heard of it as well. I did receive a voicemail from Mr. Granning voicing his concern, and I know that, but it was just a zoning question, which, like Attorney Slover said, we do not have. And moving forward, if this thing was to progress, obviously there will be questions on behalf of the board and input from the residents who live in that area. So I don't want y'all to think that, we're just gonna jump in and do something without doing our homework or hearing from our residents in that area. So that's where I stand.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. President,
Oh, yes, sir.
I know excuse me, I've been elected for a while, but the problem to me is this. The young lady came before our board and brought some information to us. And as one supervisor, I did not know, I had a clue that Supervisor Wilson owned the property. And when you dealing with anything like that, to my knowledge, 25-4-101 says no public servant shall use his official position to obtain benefits for themselves. And even though he recused himself from the meeting today, to me, the damage is already done because he's sitting here and discussed it at the last meeting and asked our emergency management guy to go down there and make sure, what he asked you to do?
Make sure it wasn't flood there.
Make sure that his property, where you're gonna put an oil landfill, wasn't in the flood thing. So you're using your public position to even ask an employee to go down there and do that. Now, maybe I'm wrong, Mr. Attorney, could you correct me if I'm wrong? Because all my years in this, you recuse yourself on the front end, which didn't happen. And evidently you wasn't gonna recuse yourself today until you went over there and told me. So,
Well, that's what I'm here for, I probably could have done a better job of educating them on the front end. I don't know if there's any maliciousness out there or insidious behavior.
I'm sorry, could you say that again? I couldn't hear you.
No, I was talking to Supervisor Craig.
so I don't know where we gonna go with this, but, I just like, anything I do, I just like to be upfront. And if I'm involved in something and it gotta come before a board, which I never have been involved in anything that had come before the city or the county board, I know the law, and to say I have to recuse myself, I can't discuss it. I can't even start a discussion on it, and that's what the law says. And to me, that wasn't done up in here. Maybe he didn't know. I didn't even want to say nothing about it at the meeting because I even said, well, I discussed this with you after the meeting. And that's what I did, cause I ain't trying to make nobody look bad. So after the meeting, I did discuss it with the attorney and him, that I didn't think that it was, ethical for this kind of conversation to be going on at a, board of supervisors meeting.
Yes, if you had something, I think you raised your hand, you said.
My question is Kevin is my supervisor.
You need to change your name, state your name.
Steve Strickland.
What's name?
Steve Strickland, and our property is directly in front of where the facility will be located from the 61 side. My question is to the board, who do I go to in my supervisory role if Kevin is my supervisor? And what happens if there's a tie on the vote, or him being recused? I don't know the process.
It's not gonna be a vote from us.
I got you.
That has nothing to do, you gonna, when everything, if this does come to fruition, we don't do that, it'll be DEQ out of Jackson or something that's gonna hold a public hearing. Because we don't have, all they came for, to have zoning permit to know rules and regulations. So we don't have a zoning permit, we don't have a vote on whether we gonna have, that's not a question, do we allow it or not allow it? So just like, the young lady, Miss Grannon, was back there, if anything move forward, that'll be, DEQ, and they will make sure they put out proper notices to have a public hearing. Am I correct, Scott?
Right. So, the question wasn't about the vote about whether or not there was gonna be a landfill, it was about the amendment process, and I think Scott kind of cleared that up earlier when he said that there was no vote, it's just a question of whether or not you had the zoning approval.
Well, that's,
That was what my question was.
Yeah.
Will there be, any type of vote on an amendment? That,
no, unless I'm just kinda, maybe I got a lack of knowledge on the situation. Scott, what do the Adams County have to do with waste management amendment? You know, so I can be clear, cause I'm not clear.
We play.
I can't answer his question, cause I don't, as far as I've been here, I have never seen waste management or what the county have to do with it. So can you explain to me, what do we have to do with waste management?
I really can't. All I had was a request for zoning that's before the, Board of Supervisors, whether we have any zoning at the moment. That's what's before the board. I'm not sure what the process is moving forward. I know that if there are,
Hold on.
we can deal with it.
That's not, he's asking about amendment for waste management. I'm saying, what do we have to do with amendment for waste management? I'm not talking about, at this point, I'm not talking about the landfill. What does the county have to do with waste management?
With their permitting process, I have no idea that we have anything to do with it. We never had in the past.
That's what I'm saying, we don't have anything to do with it.
I was curious, if not mistaken, she mentioned an amendment that had to be brought before, I think her name was Blunt, I was not here at the time, so I was a little bit confused. They came to the board for an amendment, and I was just curious as to
No,
what
they
that meant.
came to the board to ask whether we had an ordinance, zoning ordinances or not, which we don't. That's what they came before the board. If something else that they're coming before the board at that point, I'm sure the board will have a lot of interest in this, and will let y'all voice your concerns, as well as I'm sure board members already have their concerns. You gotta go through MDQs, gotta go through that permitting process and so forth. At this juncture though, they were simply asking whether there was any zoning ordinance requirements or not, which there's not. So, I don't know what's in the future, but if it is, I know this board will make sure that the public is well aware before they make any decisions.
But Scott, I'm still not clear. I'm still not clear. I mean, that's what I'm trying to say. No.
So, what happened was, Ms. Granning read a quote that was printed in the newspaper.
That's right.
It says, we have to come back before your board for an amendment to your local waste management plan.
And so that's what
Hang on just a
I
second.
don't know the answer to
Hang
that.
on just a second.
what waste management plan do
Ms.
we
Jan,
have?
didn't you say that should have been worded different?
She was being asked, what steps are next, and she said, we have a long way to go. We would have to come back to ask you to amend your, waste management plan to include this
And-
oil field information.
Yeah. And so that's the question that I have. That is the confusing part that we have, that's, I think, seeing the confusion, because I've been setting precedent for almost a year. I have never seen, I haven't heard anything come up that we have anything to do with waste management.
It's not waste management. I think it's dealing with Brad.
Yeah.
Brad,
So,
could you
Judge
get up
Brown,
and
that's what
explain
so we can have a clear understanding.
that, what they wanted you to do?
Right, what it is, the county don't have an ordinance for that, but we do have a floodplain management plan. That's an ordinance that the county board adopted. I have to go in, I have to look at all the floodplains, make sure what they're putting in place don't affect the floodplain, like going downstream to how much in the river. Once that process is done, they go try to get a permit from MDEQ. MDEQ gonna look at all the water tables, whatever their plan is, how they plan to distribute it, how they plan to hold. They're gonna look at all that. They're gonna make sure it's feasible for the resident, make sure they don't get in drinking water. They're gonna do all that, make sure that's feasible with that.
What happened in Jefferson County? Because they had to shut it down. Evidently, it wasn't feasible.
No, Jefferson County landfill, it started getting a lot of fires, and MDEQ had to come in, they spent a lot of money on it. Once you become a repetition, as a hazard mitigation plan, you become repetitious, cost the state money, they go and shut it down because the money they were putting into it, trying to keep the fires down.
But here's, okay, so I understand what you're saying, it's the process. They shut it down, but guess what? All of that is still in the ground, and now it's just shut down, and nobody's managing it. So,
Right, no,
that's what we're gonna
MDEQ, they do manage that, cause once it's deemed as a site like that waste site, they do come do monthly checks, they do, check the water tables around, they do run.
And then it becomes a super fun cleanup.
Right, no, it's permanent, once the supervisor deemed
Oh,
that
yeah,
as a
I
site.
understand it's permanent, but you can't, it's not property that can ever be used for anything else. It's a-
Right, that's the landowner, that's whoever the landowner is, if they wanna
I
deem it.
know, but if you're
Right.
adjacent to it, it's problematic.
Right, what I'm saying is,
I mean, I get it.
it's, according to the hazard mitigation plan that they're talking.
Contact information over to Corvette. If this comes before the board again, we'll make sure that there's no, it'll be here. But right now, at this point, nothing's before the
Yeah.
board, so let's make sure we get everyone's contact information. If we have something before the board, Corvette will let them know. Does that sound?
Mr. President,
Yes, sir, Mr. Grant. I'm sorry.
This isn't public comment.
I know. This ain't public comment. We got to move on without me, I understand. I wanted to hear their concern.
Mr. Gaines' second question, I think, was who do I speak to? Because obviously I can't speak to my supervisor with my concerns. Is there
If there's a public forum, you can show up and express your concerns like you're doing right now.
okay. Sorry I wasn't on the agenda, I was unaware.
Yeah, and I mean, I just allowed you to speak because, I know it's some concerns, but we can use, move on. Mr. Miller, you had a question?
Thank you.
I got a question,
All right, well, we gonna move on.
and it's pretty much to the attorney, and it's a very, very simple question. The question is this, excuse me for 1 second. My question is this. We are supervisors in Adams County. My question is this. Am I hearing that anybody can come do anything they want to in our county and the Board of Supervisors don't have no say-so? Is that what I'm hearing? Since we don't have no ordinance or whatever in the county. So the question is, if anybody wanna come put anything in Adams County, the door is wide open for them to do anything and the Board of Supervisors don't have no say-so.
There's no
That's what I'm
zoning
hearing.
requirements, so we don't have zoning. So you may have covenants to deal with, you may have MDEQ permits to do, you may have to amend a ordinance from the county, which we would have to say, but we don't have zoning requirements in the county.
So at the end of the day, anybody in the United States of America can come to Adams County and do anything they want to.
That's,
And the 5 elected people up on this board don't have no say so.
I'm telling you that there's no zoning requirements.
Can that be changed? Can you put some zoning in?
They absolutely can decide to enact zoning requirements if they want to.
I vote for zoning.
Alright, listen, I'm gonna take this last question from you, cause I know you're now on the agenda. But I'm gonna take this last question from you, and we realize your concern, and we need to probably figure out who exactly y'all need to, get some information like MDO, MDQ or somebody that y'all that can answer questions that y'all got. I'm gonna take the question. We let us speak for
I'm gonna
you.
let her speak. I got an idea. Since, who in here dealing with what's going on? How many people in here dealing with what's going on? So, Mr. President, why we just can't put public comment up, while them people can speak on the public comment issue, why they won't have to stand in here all day? Cause evidently they gonna be in here for public comment and speak on it anyway. Can we do that, Mr.
Make a motion to amend the agenda for that. Certainly can.
I make a motion to amend the agenda to, move public comment up where any concerned citizen, that wanna speak on this issue could be able to speak.
Thank you. Sherry
Alright,
Brown.
hold on. It's been properly moved by Supervisor Gray. Can I get a second?
Second.
Been seconded by Mr. Miller. There any discussion? There'll be no discussion. All in favor, vote by using sign aye. Aye, any opposed, nay, has the same right. Motion carried. Alright,
Hey, I'll make it brief.
and what's your, and
Sherry Brown,
Jerry Brown,
22 Nottaway Trail.
Norway Trail.
I think Supervisor Gray already touched on what I wanted to say. Basically, I want to know, can private property be used for public gain? Can
Not
anyone
from
elaborate
a
on
sup-
that?
Is you talking about a supervisory position or a
Or
supervisor
in-
having private property and using it for personal gains? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, in reference to the landfill or
Cannot.
the person who.
Cannot.
Okay. And from an ecologically point of view, and I'm also a medical professional, so I want to say that the soil is the earth's kidney. And when we put contaminants in our soil, it can either be airborne or it seeps deeply into the earth's surface. I think it was said that the water would be tested, but I'm hesitant to believe that when you put a landfill somewhere, that water will not actually seep deep down into that earth's crust. The soil consistency in Natchez consists of clay, silica, and sand. It's very porous. There's something called loess soil, and that's a German word that comes from the term loose. And the soil here is very porous. So I would really object to having a landfill put out wherever it's supposed to be put because of that contamination, either through the air or through the soil, that will really affect the plants, the animals, and all of, and humans for that matter. So that's basically what I wanted to say. Thanks.
Alright. Any other public comments on the landfill?
As stated before, thank you for amending that so I could actually speak. I was unaware of the process here. We recently moved from Madison County. My name is Steve Strickland. I am the landowner which would actually face from Highway 61 the facility. So naturally, I'm gonna have opposition. But the doctor made a great point where she went concerning the soil. From what I understand, these centrifuge plants run 24 hours a day. First question when I talked to my supervisor was, what are you concerned about? The noise. And of course, I am concerned about the noise. But if there, as she mentioned in the article, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama bringing in the waste to this facility, I'm concerned about the traffic. It's right in front of my driveway. Okay, so obviously, NDEQ would have to consult MDOT, and the question becomes what type of traffic and how loud is it, right? It's right across the street from Mount Sinai Church. Now, why do we consistently bring in economically, potentially devastating type situations in front of socioeconomically depraved people? Why do we do that? Now, I've got a long city, that property was in our family, was sold to Kevin Wilson by one of my wife's sisters. The property where Mount Sinai sits was given by my father-in-law to the church. He vehemently opposed waste management. Now, my question to the board is, do we need another landfill right across the street from the existing landfill, who, by the way, is one of the global leaders in waste management? If it was profitable, would they allow someone else, or would they have built it themselves? The concern I have in Jefferson County is there's groundwater being leached. I have seen the NDEQ ordinance with 4 different violations. NDEQ, based on what I'm understanding, sold the property to someone else to try to help clean it up. Group out of Baton Rouge. Now, if we're letting groundwater be, what is NDEQ going to do differently this time? Are they going to do anything differently? Do they have the money to go in with the Superfund and fix this problem? The answer is probably not, or they would have done it. That's why they put it on another company to come in and clean it up, and they sold it to them for that very reason. And my question to this board is, you are looking at the gateway of growth in Adams County. Okay? Baton Rouge is moving this way. St. Francisville property values have increased. The last land that was sold down Shillsboro Road was sold for $6,000 an acre. Okay? Why would you immediately, right off the top, devalue that property by 2.5% to 7.5%? Now, this is not from me. This is from the United States government said that's what happened to property values. Now, what happens? We have all these rules and regulations in place for the actual waste contamination and all those things that happen inside the plant. Well, what happens if the truck turns over right in front of the highway where it's going downhill, leaches into my lake? Who's going to pay for that? NDEQ's not. State's not. What happened to the last guy? He filed bankruptcy. So what are we going to do to change this? I think the perfect thing to do is create some zoning. Now, I'm new to this community. My wife's family has been here 150 years. But I can tell you that Adams County, as it was mentioned in today's prayer, wants to grow. You cannot allow things in your gate of growth like this that are going to prohibit people from wanting to come. That's my opinion. Thank you.
Right. Any more on the landfill? Any more public comments on the landfill? Any more public comments at all? As we move to the front. Any public comment? All right. All right, well, we definitely heard your concerns, but I'm sorry that I couldn't answer because I just kind of, I like to be pretty much adamant on what I'm doing. I like to have, I know what I'm talking about. I like to have questions, and some of the questions that you have, and I don't see no way we can answer them because most questions, as I'll say, and I'll let this be, they ask for a zoning permit, but all the questions seem like y'all have, it's not a question that we can answer because we are not into that. So, it seems like it's DEQ or somebody else or something that you do to land on, and I'm careful what I say because I do not want to say anything that I'm not right over in the public. Not only y'all sitting here and I'm talking to y'all, I don't want to give y'all wrong information, and I don't want to inform the public wrong because I know how that can be. And I know how that can be, and I dare not do that, but whatever it takes to find the right people, that's why I kept asking the question. Who do you really need to ask? Because the buck right now is going to stop with somebody else and not us. And in the near future, I think this would be a discussion for zoning or whatever. I think there would be a discussion that would come up. But other than that, I think your next closest step would be actually probably DEQ, and they can probably answer a whole lot of questions that you had to answer. And we'll do what at this point I don't know a whole lot we can do because nothing else but a zoning permit.
Can I ask one more short
You
question?
can.
What would be the process to get some zoning put in place in Adams County? How do we as citizens start that process?
It would come from the board of
It'll come from the
supervisors.
board of supervisors.
They would
Can we
advertise.
make a request that we have this zoning put in place?
I think you already did, so.
I'd make it again.
Yes, and that's why I said it'd be definitely consideration on the zoning, and that'll be a discussion, and, we'll definitely make sure that they make that public when they do get ready to discuss zoning.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Mr.
I just on the board, if it's okay for the board, just allow me to be the liaison with MDOQ, the emergency management on it, and I can speak to the residents. Because if they keep calling up at one at a time, they only gonna send them back to me. So, I just ask the board, let me be a liaison for y'all, any question y'all got, I can take the MDOQ according to the emergency side, if I have a question, it's okay with the board.
Well,
Problem with it?
I don't have a problem with it, Brad. But what I would ask you to do is, when you have some questions or concerns from the resident, could you just keep a dialogue of the questions and the answers?
Right, that's what I was gonna do,
Okay,
then I turn all of those Scott and Scott give you the board. Just
Yeah.
keep people from just bombarding MDEQ, cause a lot of times you call up there, they gonna just push it back to me. So, and I can do that, I can relate to Scott, if that's what the board wants to do.
That'll be fine, do we need a motion for that? No, well, Brad, you be the liaison for that, and I'll also ask, please, relay to Scott, because when people come, I like to give them clear answers. And today, I really couldn't give them any, because I don't know, I think it was over.
Mr. President, you did good, and I apologize for
Yeah,
that.
it
I'm
was
just
all right.
ignorant
All
of
right.
that process.
So we gonna move on right now, the roads and Billy Neal, huh?
What happened to, Supervisor Kevin?
He had to recuse himself, he had to leave out, because it had, the attorney, it was his land, so he couldn't hear. So he's right there, he had to leave out.
Oh, we're still not through?
No, somebody asked where you was, I told him,
No,
because it was that discussion, we had to leave,
Okay.
getting ready. Yeah, he had to leave, the attorney said he had to recuse himself because it's talking about something going on his property, father-in-law.
We just wanna know, this about it, don't seem like y'all know nothing too much.
But he can't discuss it here, so I don't know if he discussed it personal, I don't know, I can't make that, I don't know. I wanna be legal, and it's really tricky without saying stuff to be legal, so we couldn't discuss it in here. Alright, Mr. Wilson, is that all? Mr. Wilson, you can come on back, Billy Neely,
Good morning, Lord.
good morning.
Back in December of 22, I brought some pictures to y'all about the erosion problem that I'm having at the end of 21 Village Square, Alton. At that time, y'all told me that y'all would look into it, and I think Supervisor Gray told me it normally takes about a year to get that project kicked off. Well, it's going on a year now, and I'd just like to know where I stand, what's been done on that. If that road is a county road now, and I was told that it has to have a 3 to 3.5 inch rain event before anything can happen. The road has no drainage on it, and I'm getting well more than 3 to 3.5 inches of rain when it rains. Every bit of it pours onto my property. I've got newer pictures now that shows more damage, and it's even starting to back up under the road, and that's the next thing that they're gonna start having problem with, is erosion under the road.
Well, Mr. Neely, I can let, far as I know we hadn't adopted the road. If it was private then, I do know that, it's still private, but you are correct, it's 1 inch within 1 hour, or 4 inches within 1 hour, 24 hours for rain. And I know you know as well as everybody here, we hadn't had any rain. The road manager, Mr. Dollar, keeps a list over there. I got 1 or 2 other properties on there, and that's the only way in NRCS to accept those projects. You know, they don't tell you, they're gonna tell you, say, go see your supervisor. But what they don't tell you is, if you don't have a rain event to match that they will not accept it. So we hadn't
Well, let me ask you this, the school bus comes down that road every day, and I was told that if the school bus travels that road, it is a county road.
That's not correct.
Yes,
The school bus comes down that road and picks up and takes kids to school there.
Is it on the school
And
bus
is it-
turnaround list?
is it a county road, Mr.?
If they got a school, if it's a school bus turnaround, could the school
They turn
bus
around.
submit?
Hold on a second.
But they
Hold on a
submit to the road department every year, beginning of every school year, of what every turnaround is within the county. And once they submit it to the county, I bring it before the board accepts it and adopts it. So that gives the right for the school bus to go down those roads to, turn around. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a public road, it can be a private road that they go down.
If it's been turned in and certified, and they do that once a year.
Once a year, they do that. But you had mentioned drainage issues. When they developed that neighborhood, they didn't put any stormwater drains or anything in
It's a
that
couple
road
of
when they.
drains in there, but, you know, we've had people that come in and dug them up and they're concreted in, there's no water drainage off that road at all. Every bit of the water is coming on the
So who
road.
dug them up, concrete them in, developers?
I'm not sure who developed it, but they did put a drain in, but, you know, they've got some, people have gone into the drain and dug them out to clean them out. And when they got to the end, which is probably 20 feet off the main thorough, it was concreted up. There's no way, when the water fills that ditch up, it backs up and it just pours down the boulevard. There's no drainage at all, and every bit of it's coming on my property.
And that's a private street.
Well, that's why I'm here.
Mr. President, what are we dealing with, the street, are we dealing with the wastewater, and are we dealing with all of it?
You're dealing with
Yeah,
erosion
all of it.
knocking out
The street.
sewer.
And
In
see,
the
I got
private street.
a lagoon back there that, you know, Natchez, the Village Square Apartments and National Housing Authority uses every day. And I don't want that drainage to blow with that lagoon out.
The reason I'm asking the question because I'm looking at USDA and they got a revolving fund for financing water and wastewater projects. And the applicant could be a non-profit, which I don't think you meet that qualification because you can profit, right? I don't know, but I don't know, maybe we need to get with, Southwest Planning and find out, is it anything with either DRA or USDA to help this situation out? I mean, you just come from a conference and say they got all that money, but, you got to fit the criteria to get the money, and I don't know, what's going on with your property, fit a criteria that, allow us to
And
get
see,
some of
I've
the money.
already talked to Mike Green, and he said that sewage line and electrical lines are in the way of it, and he said, that qualifies you right there, I don't understand what the problem is.
Mike Green?
He works for NRCS.
Oh, I know who he is.
He's talking about doing an EWP on it.
So Robert, would the EWP correct what he's trying to do? Or
Break
is
on
it,
sewer lines and things like that, cause they don't, they don't do anything with utilities.
right,
And so that's what's affecting part of what he's got when it's eroding, the sewer lines are damaged
Right, the sewer
and
lines
things
are
like that,
damaged too.
see,
And then a
and
lot
they're
of,
not gonna repair those anyhow. That's gonna be on somebody else. They're gonna-
So-
well, Natchez Housing Authority is responsible for the drain, the sewer lines itself.
so it wouldn't hurt to check into, USDA? I mean, at this point,
That's
It
fine.
is USDA.
It's on the USDA.
You know, she is, USDA, same.
Yeah, but.
yeah, but they got different sides, one deal with, EWP projects and got another side deal with
They got
something
another
else.
side deals with the local landowners for
Yeah.
it, building dry structures and things like that.
Yeah.
Just Robert Day will go in and look at it and assess it, and if it,
And I know he sent them to the board of supervisors, he send them to me all the time.
correct.
One thing I'm saying, we just come from a conference and, they say they got a lot of money.
Not on you, Robert, but he
But
does.
you
Oh,
gotta
I know.
You know.
tweak it to make it fit
Okay.
whatever the problem is to get the money. Maybe that great grant writer back there can help you out, cause I know she can tweak it and make it fit. Mary Kay. Other than that, I don't know.
Has Mr. Day been out there and discussed it with you, looked at it, talked to you?
The gentleman at the moment, he's been out there before.
Oh, yeah.
He's been out there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, I'm talking
No, no,
about.
no, no.
That's the only other
I
one.
was talking about Robert Davis,
Robert
USDA.
USDA.
Put drive structures in, pipes and things like that. You have to go up there and request and talk to him and tell him your concern. He's in the same building where Mike Green is, the same office.
Go talk to Mr.
But
Day.
he'll do it under, or as you, like, you know, or me as a landowner, if I mean,
Oh,
you know, help if they can.
all right, thank y'all.
All right,
Hold
thank you.
up, sir, Mr. President, Scott, dealing with Southwest Planning. Can he go to Southwest Planning or he need to go through us to go?
Robbie and I were talking about before the meeting, I thought that we had previously
We
directed
discussed
Southwest
that
Planning
in
to
the
look
last
at
meeting,
funding
he was
options.
here talking about going.
So I can follow up with Alan, since the board has already directed Alan to.
Yeah, follow up and see what's going on.
All right.
I'll just say thank y'all.
All right, moving forward, city government, government business, if any city business.
Mr. President, Mr. Attorney, have we heard anything else about Morgantown Road? I know we got a lot of flags out there and people, we gotta explain to them about moving the lines and all that, but have we heard anything else from the city? Are they just waiting on?
Speak it. You got some information. You wanna speak it?
As it relates to Morgantown Road, as of right now, still going through the utility coordination process, all the flags you've seen, the combination of flags that were presently put out by us, from the utility companies, and then once we mark our location, utilities company came out and marked theirs. That way, other utility providers can see any other companies where they decide to move theirs. Right now, only the closest one we have to doing any relocation would be the Adams County Water Association. They did submit a letter requesting some assistance. And the gas company has had some questions about right away, so we've answered their questions, so they're still in the process of moving in. Only one we have not been able to get in contact with the sewer, they would not answer the phone. So other than that, all the other utilities, we are coordinating with, and they are developing plans to relocate, outside of the parent project.
Thank you.
In our city business. All right, departmental reports. Departmental reports, don't be shy. Don't be shy.
Good morning, my name is Denise Price and I'm the purchase clerk for Adams County. I would like to spread procurement card and travel card across the minutes for approval for September.
You heard the request of the purchase clerk, can I get a motion?
So moved.
It's been properly moved by Supervisor Middleton,
Second.
properly second by Supervisor Wilson. Will there be any discussion? If there be no discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right, motion carried unanimously. All right, next.
Okay, I was informed to reach out locally about the pest control. And, once we reached out, we had 3 companies locally that were interested: Old South Pest Control, Red Pest, and Orton. Old South bid was $951.25 a month, Red Pest was $612.50 per month, and Orkin was $726 per month.
Ready, set.
Yes.
We need
So,
to-
we need a motion to adopt red pest. I need a motion. Been properly moved by Supervisor Hutchins and properly second by Supervisor Wilson to adopt red pest for our pest control. Will there be any discussion? If there be no discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nays have the same right, motion carried unanimously.
How long is this contract for?
I think it's 2 years.
2 years.
2 years. I'll verify them all. Certain it's 2 years.
And this is the different pest control that we used previously for this type of stuff?
No, we had Bay,
Yeah.
which was not local.
That's why I said it was different.
Yes, and we found, we asked the state auditor, do we have to do bids, and he said it's not required, so we decided to check locally, and this was the result. All right, the next thing I have on my list is, the washer and dryer issue from the jail. So we decided as we discussed to reach out locally to see about like a speed queen or something like that in that area. Because the capacity is less now, it's not as many inmates it was, so I reached out to Appliance and More, and officially we had 40 pounds. So now we got a price on the 22-pound washer for $19.99, and the dryer is still working, but it's old. I just told to get an estimate on it as well. The dryer is the washer dryer was $19.99. The washer is $21.99, and they're 22-pound plus capacity. Installation $175, and they do have 2 in-house technicians, and the lead time is 7 to 10 days. I can go over the other bids, which were much higher. We did get a bid on from Steins, which was just a regular washer like that we have in our homes, and they were let's see that, several bids. Okay, Steins, we had the dryer for $12.29 and the washer for $12.29. Laundry South, we asked for a bid on a 30-pound one, and it was $4,799.25 for the washer and $7,821.15 for the dryer. So, and we did ask Appliance and More about the Speed Queen as well, and the washer was $12.09, and the dryer was $12.09, and the washer was $13.16. The 22-pound one was like a little more than half of what we had on the other one. Johnny was saying that he suggested we go with that instead of a regular home washer due to the fact that they have blankets and other things that need to go in there constantly washing. So it's just entirely up to you if you want to get the washer and the dryer, but I'm just making sure I gave you the bill for both of them.
Like I said, I'm not sure about it. I mean, so I'm not sure. So what Billy, you think this gonna be enough to take care of y'all capacity? If it ain't, what y'all take care of? It's a pleasure of the board.
You know,
So,
would it be in a facility? I just don't know about putting something less than what we got in there. Like she said, we're not using it as much as we used to, so I mean, we could try it and just see what happens.
okay, well, what's the pleasure of the board? Somebody have.
I'd like to see us go with that Speed Queen, just buy the washer now, the dryer's still working. We'll address the dryer when the dryer goes out, and just do the Speed Queen from Home Appliance. Or you said,
So
$21.99?
No, that's a 22-pound, which is much better than the Speed Queen.
Okay,
And the washer is $19.99. No, the dryer is $19.99, the washer is $21.99. So it's just like half the capacity of the one we have. The Speed Queen was just like a regular one we used to have
Okay.
home, but it was much less. But
what's the brand on the other one, the $21.99?
it's called Crossover 2.0.
Man, how much warranty did you say it had?
We have, what it is, that they gave me the price, they have technicians that'll come in, even after it's paid off, they would still come in. And they have 2 in-house technicians to repair, so we wouldn't have to repair.
Okay, but I'm sure it had a warranty, but.
Yeah, that's.
Well, they told me even after the warranty's over, they still do it, but I asked them what was the warranty, because those were the things that Johnny told me to ask them about the installation and the technicians and the lead time, so I asked them about the warranty as well.
All right, I'll make a motion, we replace the, washer with that one that's $21.99.
Really not necessary.
It's not
It was
necessary.
not cut in the budget and under,
Yeah, it's
under
John's
5,000.
decision.
And that's Johnny wanted to know what budget was it coming out of.
His budget, his budget,
His budget, okay, I'll let him know.
Do we have it in his budget?
yeah, he gonna have it in his budget. It's just started.
He was just asking because he said usually the sheriff department takes care of that area, so I just, he asked me to ask that question.
They all eat at the same trough.
So. Did we make a decision on, we gonna vote on? The
You won't have to vote on it.
Okay, so we only gonna replace the washer?
Yes.
Okay, we're not gonna do the dryer. Alright. The next thing I have on my list is, the IP rail. We had to bid on the 26th. And, These were the results from the bid for IP Rail. American Services, $335,588.95. Porter Smith Contracting Corporation, $357,148. TLW, $393,102.80. Continental Rails, $419,254.12. RJ Corman Railroad Services, $588,479.59. Morrow Railroad Builders, $633,391.95. And I was also informed by, Doug that he said that all of the rejection of the bids on the rail because of the fact that it was out of the budget.
Motion to reject those bids?
We need a motion to reject those bids coming from Channel, all of them was high. Higher than this. It's been properly moved by Supervisor Wilson, and properly second by Supervisor Hutchins to reject the bids. Will there be any discussion? There'll be no discussion, all in favor, vote by the usual sign of aye. Aye, any opposed, nays, have the same right, motion carries unanimously.
Okay,
Okay?
alright, next one we have is the debris removal, we had the bids on that, on the 26th, I think. And we had 11 bids. D&H Transport Logistics Services was $487,000 per cubic yard. So what we did, we did the ad and we had a bid form that we had that was required for everyone to fill out. And it was per cubic yards. So I think maybe they might have made a mistake on it and they probably didn't see that, but they said $487,000 per cubic yard. The next company was DRC Emergency Services, $7.98 per cubic yard. Good Hope Disaster Recovery Solutions, $9.45. Okay.
You say the first one was how much?
$487,000 per cubic yard.
You think they meant 487, but we can't know that.
You can't do that.
Can't know that
And the
because
second was,
$7.98.
okay, what's the next one?
Good Hope, $9.45. LTR Holding, $17.25. Green Tree, $5.70. CTC Disaster, $6.96. Looks Great Services, $8.50. Dynamic Group had in their proposal $9, but they did not fill out the formal sheet of the cubic yard. KDF Enterprises, $7.55. Sears and Environmental, $7.29, and Derek Batiste, $50 per cubic yard. I got with Robbie and Brad, and, their proposal was that Brad recommended the top three, Good Hope, Dynamic, and Looks Good.
You mean Doug? Doug recommended, or?
I said Brad and Robbie.
Oh, that was just for the IP remove, or,
No,
No,
we
that
passed
one,
the
yeah,
IP.
yeah, I
We
was
on the
like, why is
debris
Brad-
removal. We on the debris removal.
You recommend the top three?
Yes, his top three was, Good Hope, Dynamic, and Looks Good. But as far as the lowest bid, is Green Tree at $5.70.
So, tell me why not
The
Green
brand
Tree?
right there, you can see it.
That's
The
what I
brand,
said.
the brand right there. so
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
It's-
so we need to know.
That's what
Yeah, the
I'm
reason I did my feasibility on that, a lot of times, the lowest bid ain't always good when you got a big disaster. Coming from Road Fork, seeing a disaster, I base my study off the highest tornado we can get with the amount of damage we can get. And my recommendation with companies that I've seen work doing that, and also my other EMA counterparts in other states and other counties that have seen these companies do a great job. So the fact that kind of came in kind of low to me because, with diesel prices going up, they're normally around the $9 price range, are the ones I've seen. So that $5 kind of threw some in, and I looked at their availability and their experience, and it wasn't, to me, not enough experience on a larger disaster if we need them to come in, so they'd be able to handle that. So those are my recommendations.
All right, Robin? Same.
And that's good, Brandon
Same
sent it
thing.
over there to me and I looked at it, but like I said, I had it just put out that we were just hunting a cubic yard price, you know, a cubic yard, and we take care of tipping fees and things like that. But like I said, Brad working with it every day, or with other directors and all, you know, it was sort of put in his hands to do it. But like you said, we did have that one that was lower, that was 5 something, but, he had done some research and talked to some other counties and people.
After hearing the recommendation.
Was that it?
I got one question. It's to the attorney. With the explanation that, Brad and Robbie gave us, is that enough information to not take the lowest bid? Cause you got to have, certain, a reason why we didn't take the lowest bid. So is that enough information what they gave us to bypass the lowest bid?
I was gonna ask if that was within the bid specs, what they're talking about, with experience and availability and all that in the bid specs.
Specs were simply.
Then you cannot, no.
Cubic yard.
Yeah.
That's what
Cubic
he
yards,
asked.
that was
When I
the
said
That's the lowest one.
all it
Cubic
was
yards.
asked was cubic yard, it wasn't anything else.
So,
So no, you got to accept the cubic yard, because you didn't put it in your bid specs.
so now that means we gotta go with the lowest bid?
Yes, sir. But you don't have to use this company, this is to have it on hand in case we decide to use it. The board can use other methods that are still available to it if they don't want to.
I just wanna make sure we in order, don't let them come back to bite us.
Yes, Judge. Yes,
For not taking the lowest bid.
President Gaines,
Yes,
I have a
ma'am.
question. Have you all looked into, I know we just come from this conference, Supervisor Gray and myself, there are also some funding out there, grant funding that would help cover this. Have you all kind of looked into that?
Yeah, that's if we, I think those are long line, we get a declaration. Yeah, normally the county has to foot the bill first, but if we meet our threshold, it automatically falls up under that. That's what they're talking about, you gotta meet the threshold.
Right,
The
that's right, we
100,
have
yeah.
that declaration.
12% coverage usually is what we end up paying between MEMA and FEMA when they do this. If it's a
Right.
I
declaration.
think they put it like 130 something, right? Yeah, $138,000, once we get past that, we qualify for it, but it got to, like I said, we gotta meet that threshold for the state to get a federal declaration.
And this FEMA will cover, because we're doing it this way, this
Yeah.
6 month or 1 year type bid. But again, we don't have to, there's more than one way to spin a
Right.
cap.
Right.
If they're not available, you know, you can go through other methods in an emergency.
Yeah.
This is, really don't have to use them even if we could.
All right, so after hearing the attorney and all the discussion, what's the pleasure of the board?
We have to accept the lowest bid. We need to make a motion.
Yes. You made a motion.
Motion to accept the lowest bid.
It's been properly moved by Supervisor
Second.
Wilson and properly second by Supervisor Gray. Will there be any more discussion? If there be no more discussion, all in favor vote by using the sign aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right, motion carries unanimous. All right, that's all you have?
Yes,
Thank
the last thing I have, Joey is gonna speak on Chesterfield, the bleachers retrofit and the light. Thank you.
That's under you?
Yes, but he's gonna speak, I'm gonna be right here.
I got you. No, I just want to know
Yeah.
if this individual does.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so we have 2 bids this afternoon that we're receiving. One is for the installation of the sports lighting. The county's already made an agreement with Musco Sports Lighting to provide the equipment. So we have a project that is out for bid just to install, erect, and connect the necessary items to be able to electrify and turn those lights on. We haven't gotten the bids yet, but we expect that total project, including what we've already purchased or what we already agreed to purchase from Musco, to be in the $520,000 range. These projects are gonna be a lease purchase, so they're not coming out of the bonds that are dedicated for the improvements to the field. But we are getting that bid this afternoon, so hopefully we will get good bids and we'll be able to proceed with that and get that particular part of the project moving. I assume we can't approve a bid if it's within a budget, so I guess we'll have to come back or have a special call to actually approve those bids, but we do need to, there is a time issue, since we've already had to do this twice, because of the way it was put out the last time. The other bid that we're doing is for the installation of the bleacher planks for the stadium. If you've been out there, as you know, the bleachers are wooden, currently. They're very dangerous. They don't meet any codes. They're breaking and they're very much a safety hazard if we want to utilize the stadium for seat. So we put a bid out to furnish and install aluminum bleachers that will bring it up to code, as well as make it safe and put proper risers and face plates so that people can't fall through, put guardrails and all of that. And all of this was in the original estimate, estimates that we did for the overall project at Chesterfield. That also bids this afternoon. And we expect that that's going to be in the $231,000 range, based on what the estimates we've done and work we've done with the bleacher manufacturer that we're using as our standard design. So that will happen this afternoon, and we'll be able to have some numbers very soon. Is it appropriate at this time to give an update to the field and take care of a little business on that, or is there another agenda item that I need to come back for?
Give it now.
Okay, if I was gonna have Scott pass these out, but since he stepped away, if you could take one of these, and I'll go through it. The first item is just some progress pictures of the current contractor. Stubbs Intake Contractors is the contractor that's doing the field construction. His project includes dugouts, warning tracks, artificial turf, and natural turf outfields, subsurface drainage, and some work on the backstop wall, as well as the installation of the backstop itself, the netting and the poles for the backstop. So these pictures that you have are progress pictures. These were taken last week. Since these were taken, I didn't have time to take them and print them. The artificial turf is complete. I believe that the natural outfield is installed. So basically, the field project, as far as the turf is completed. There's still some other items that are within this contract that are not complete. He's about 75% complete on the project that he's under contract to do. If you recall, the original bids came in high, and we did a significant value engineering of the project to drop the project down as much as we can to try to right size it for the dollars you had available. That was change order number one. We then did a change order number two, which was to take care of a couple of unforeseen conditions that we found when we got into construction that had to be approved. You guys approved that last time. So his current contract is at $504,135. I've got conflicting numbers there that are within $600 or $700 of each other from two different documents, but so there may be some change in this particular that I need to vet out. I just noticed these conflicting numbers this morning, but it's within $700 or $800, so we can correct that easily. So what I'm asking for today, if you look at the next sheet, which is a 12 by 18 sheet that you have, we asked the contractor to give a price to do the concrete paving that surrounds the field. We originally did not have this in his contract because we were thinking we were going to get a field builder as the general contractor to build the field. And as it turned out, we got Stubbs Intake, which is actually a site work contractor. So he's very adept, and this kind of concrete work is really what he does. So the items in gray are what we've asked him to do. The few items outside of that we've asked him to price in this change order. So you got to first demolish a lot of the concrete that's out there. It's broken. They're trip hazards. The drainage is no longer working the way it's supposed to. It wasn't working before we did the improvements that we had, and so we're doing some things that will improve this, and this is necessary for the site to be usable and to be safe and to be ADA compliant. This was always planned to be in the project, and since we have a contractor that does this, and we've got good weather and we're happy with the performance that he's given us. We asked him to give us a price, which he did, which is $124,154. I believe it's a good price. I believe he's adept at doing the work, and I would recommend that we go ahead and change order this into his project and let him do it. This will also protect the investment that we've already put out there, because he is butting up against with the field contract where the sidewalks will be. So this is gonna get all the grading and take care of the overall project in order to make sure that what we've already done doesn't get damaged by another contractor that could potentially come in to do this. This also helps the timeline tremendously, because he can get in and do this work. He's ready to do it if you approve it. So I make that recommendation that you approve that change order, and ask that the board, have the pleasure of the board to approve that. Change order number 3.
So my question is, Scott, I mean, I do know the first change order we did was to decrease $400,000.
Or more than 400, yes, but significantly. Yes.
I understand, I got it. And, but my question is, I mean, with our change order, with that amount of change order, are we legal within the status without having, I think, because he's already working, he wouldn't have to have a bid? That's just my question.
Yeah, I'm gonna read to you the
Statute.
Or probably, it's gonna be a determination by the board, we'll probably be capable of taking.
Well, I just want, whatever.
How many people bidded on it?
Legal.
Nobody.
One person bid on it,
Yeah.
so that'll give him a sole source, so. Okay. I just wanna make sure we in that area. All right? So as long as we legal in the one. Yeah. Okay.
You're gonna have to do a bid anyway. I think this captures some of what would be in phase 2, is that right?
Yes, this captures a lot of what would be in phase 2.
In the event a determination is made by the governing authority that changes or modifications to the original contract are necessary or would better serve the purpose of us, such governing authority may in its discretion order changes pertaining to the construction that are necessary under the circumstances without the necessity for a bid. So we just need to find that it would better serve our purpose of doing the ballpark. I think we've got that.
Okay.
Mr. President, one second. Where you reading from?
This is Mississippi Code 31-7-13, subsection G. That's a really long statute. Second part of it is the crucial part. The changes have to be made in a commercially reasonable manner and not made to circumvent the public purchasing statutes. So how did we come up with the price selection? Is this based on their previous bid?
Based on their previous bid and based on my experience with other projects similar, that we feel like it's, within the norm.
Was it unit pricing based on their previous bid?
It was, he gave me the official change order that he gave me was just a lump sum, but I can get a breakdown for it, but I had gotten a breakdown for it before today when he submitted that particular price, but it included a breakdown for concrete, included a breakdown for demolition, included a breakdown for handrails and ramps and other masonry work and footings and so forth that we had to do for some of these areas. And it also included, there's some fill that's necessary to be brought in to get everything to grade once we take the concrete out.
Yeah,
so there's a good bit of finesse work in it. It's not just all flat work, so.
If the pricing based, like concrete's based on the unit pricing of what was previously bid, that's automatically acceptable, it's commercially reasonable. Sometimes you'll have to go to like the state, they have a book or whatever, they use that for pricing. That's what it is showing the board how it's commercially reasonable.
All right, so after hearing the recommendation of Mr. Fair and the legal explanation of the attorney, what will be the pleasure of the board? It's been properly moved by Supervisor Milton. It's properly seconded by Supervisor Wilson. If there be any discussion?
Only discussion I have again is to the attorney, and to your knowledge, you did say this is legal.
If the board makes the findings that we just adopted, that it's commercially reasonable, pricing is commercially reasonable, and that this is increasing this course and scope is better to serve the building of the ballpark, I think that one's pretty easy. The question I had was commercially reasonableness of the price, which he said it was based off of your, previous bids, then it's okay.
So by you being our legal person to keep us out of trouble, and your recommendation is for us to do this, right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
All right, for the minimum of discussion?
I just have to tell Richard, the Stubbs entity is already out there and they did all the other work and they're gonna make sure their work's taken care of that they've already done. And I think another company, if they were coming in, they probably have a mobilization fee.
Yeah, they would have a mobilization fee, and the other thing is there's a coordination element, because the next item I'm gonna present, is some work that's gotta be coordinated, as well as this with the electrical contractor that's gonna be installing the lights, so those particular, I separated those two because they're two different.
That's why I was gonna say that, don't get too far into it, let me
Okay.
carry this, I got a motion on the floor.
I say there'd be some extra money involved.
The money is already in place.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, will there be any more discussion? All in favor, vote by using sign of aye. Aye, any opposed, nays have the same right, motion carried none. Okay, now if you want to.
Okay, great. Okay, the next item is also a phase 2 item, that pertains to the bleachers. The bid that goes out this afternoon is for the installation of aluminum bleachers over the existing steel structure that is already there. So basically replacing the wood with aluminum, with guardrails, with handicap spaces, with a new deck instead of the press box, a press deck, and guardrails and so forth. The existing structure is holding up the wood, but it's an very old structure, so in order for it to be to code, there needs to be some additional support structures that are put under the steel that's there. So it's standing up now, which means it's a good sturdy building, but when you retrofit or when you renovate a structure like this that is grandfathered in from the code, we have to meet new codes as far as wind loading as well as live and dead load. So our structural engineer had designed this, prior to doing the bleachers. The bleacher company does not do steel work, they just do bleachers. So we need someone to come in and put these, it's basically a series of footings. The smaller drawing sheet I have is the drawing that we use to price this with. And so we asked Stubbs while he was there and while he was doing excavation and pouring concrete and tying rebar to give us a price to do this, so that when the bleacher company comes in with bleachers, we've already got the structure ready for them to receive that. So the price for that is $44,841. This is similar to what our structural engineer had originally estimated. And it is, it's work that has to be done under the stadium, so it's a little difficult. I think it's a very good number for this. And this also will allow him to get in and do that before the electrical contractor, who's got to run some conduit and stuff, kind of under the stadium. It'll make that much easier to coordinate. And I think it benefits the county because it lessens the possibility for conflicts between the 2 or 3 contractors that we're gonna have out there already.
My only question there, Scott, I know we bid out phase one, so we working in phase 2, and that's all. I don't have a problem with the work getting done, but is there legal to work over into phase 2 before you bid it out?
Again, the change order would have to have made those findings that this furthers the purpose of the ballpark. Is there a reason that we're delaying the bid, the advertisement of phase 2?
Well, the reason what I would say is that we have bid the bleachers is a phase 2 item, the installation of the bleachers. And the reason we did that way is to benefit the county into getting a bleacher company that does specifically this, to come in and bid this particular project, not any bleacher company that meets the specification can do it. So we've asked them to bid this rather than having a general contractor bid the flat work, the flat concrete work, as well as the footings and the bleachers all at once, because every time you do that, then the general contractor is gonna put overhead and profit on that. So you save a little, you get some benefit from the standpoint of, if you've got a company that does one specific thing and they can do it with with the proper licensures, which all bidders will have to have, then they can come in and not work under the umbrella of another contractor and pay that markup. So it reduces that markup. by
Contractor actually suggested that as well, because he said he'd be using the same person, but he would be marketing.
I don't have a problem, I just wanna make sure we legal.
Well, that was advertised and everything else.
That's my question is,
Yes.
as a legal person, I understand, and I've been there, as a matter of fact, we went and looked at it. I don't have a problem with it, and all the money's there, I just wanna make sure that we're legal going over to the next phase, okay? So,
The bleachers are phase two. This is just getting ready for phase two.
Okay, getting ready for phase two, okay, so you heard the request of Mr. Sir, and you heard the, legal part from the attorney, what would be the pleasure of the board? And the money's there, Brandon?
Yes, sir.
All right, what would be the pleasure of the board?
So moved on.
It's been properly moved by Supervisor Wilson. Properly second by Supervisor Middleton. Will there be any more discussion?
I wanna know, is somebody gonna be priming and painting the existing structure?
That is another phase two item that we're gonna put out the bid next. But we wanted to get these other items going so that we could get the flat work. We're kind of, again, we're trying to parcel it out because we're trying to save as much money as we can to do as much money. So we're getting to the point where we have to start looking at what we can and cannot afford to do without additional dollars. And we did this on purpose to make sure that we got so kind of the priority we set was field, lights, safety of bleachers, and then restrooms, and then some renovation or putting a little facelift on the steel structure. So we're trying to do the things that we must do first. Hopefully we have enough money to do some painting, right now, within the bonds. But we decided to try to get the things we had to do, see how much money we had left, and then we'll make a decision as to what are the items we can do for the dollars we have left available. What's most important?
Do we have any more discussion? If there be no more discussion, all in favor, vote by using sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right. Thank you.
All right, thanks.
All right, department reports next. You can go, Scott, yes.
This is for,
Department reports, go ahead, and they'll be waiting, go ahead. Finish.
Ms. Brandon. How much do we have left after doing everything that we just did? How much money do we have left in that budget?
Let's see, based on this last spreadsheet, it was a little over 2 million. I believe, yeah.
You got it left?
Well, we good with you.
Okay.
You good, we see you, thank you.
I
Yeah, no, I was just trying to get.
Yeah.
How much you say we had left?
At the beginning of the year, beginning of the fiscal year, there was 2 million left of unallocated money, unbudgeted. There's not much at all. So there's not a lot of free money,
So-
but there's still money to be spent, still be spent left.
So when we get to phase two, we already got some funds for
That's
phase
part
two.
of.
But we
that's-
might not have enough money to finish phase two.
As far as I know, the amount of money that was set aside for this project, that money's still within that bond. Plus, there was money that was added into the bond. So with all that money that's set aside, allocated, there's enough to cover what was supposed to be done. So,
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Bill,
but we're right at it, so we don't have
Let me
any
ask this
space.
question.
hold on one second.
We on point with the amount that was set aside just for this project here.
Yes, ma'am.
We're not going over there now, at this point.
Not at this point, and it's razor thin, but we're not going over on any of it.
All right, Mr. Bennett?
Good morning. This morning, I'm requesting, there's a MOU that I presented to Attorney Slover last week, for review. It's spread across the minutes for Helping Hands.
All right, have you reviewed it?
Yes, sir.
Everything in order?
Everything's in order. There's a cap at $42,000, which is consistent with the grant amount that you've been allocated for. Is that right?
I believe so, yes.
So everything's good to go?
Yes, sir.
All right, so after hearing the request of Mr. Bellins and the recommendation from the attorney,
So moved.
can I get a motion? It's been properly moved by Supervisor Gray and properly seconded by Supervisor Wilson to accept the MOU, Helping Hands, Counseling and Behavior, LLC. There be any more discussion? There be no more discussion. All in favor, vote by using sign aye. Any opposed, nays have sign right. Motion carried unanimously. Anything else, Mr. Bell?
I submitted a request to increase the budget on to be able to pay Helping Hands, because I think it was $30,000, that was originally submitted in the budget. The MOU was $42,000. We're requesting that be headed into the budget.
That's what he's talking about.
Well, my question to this is do you have, to Brandon? Because, you know, it's submitted to Brandon, and, I mean, the forms be submitted to our acting administrator to make sure that we have the money. As long as we have checked and it's been okay with y'all, that's what it is.
He said it's fully reimbursable, and he does have to make one modification to his form, but we've already talked about that this week.
So, but your recommendation is we can accept.
Yes, sir.
All right. So they have what's the exact amount?
$12,000.
$12,000 modification. All right. After hearing the request and hearing the acting administrator, what would be the pleasure of the board?
You need a motion?
Yeah, I need a motion to accept.
So moved.
It's been properly moved by Supervisor Wilson and properly seconded by Supervisor Gray. Will there be any discussion?
Mr. President, my only question is, so Ms. Brandon, you saying that it's over the budget, but they're gonna get reimbursed for it, so
Yes, sir. And we will be fully reimbursed for this amount back.
thank you.
All right, if there be no more discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right, motion carried unanimously. Anything else?
One last thing I have, I submitted this morning to Scott, I think he just passed it around. We just received the August and September 2023 reimbursements, which total $44,804.13.
All right,
Which was the exact amount that we requested.
thank you.
Joe's been making those requests every month, and working with them, getting back, so that's really good. It's real helpful for us.
And we appreciate it, because I know, if you remember a couple of months ago, we asked you, when we came in, we asked you to do it, so we appreciate you being efficient on doing your job. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. Anything else? Department reports next.
I'm Rick Marino with Mental Health Treatment Court. Scott, did I submit a contract services for
Rick.
Helping Hands also?
That's- He didn't hear you. Will you resubmit your name?
Oh, Rick Marino with Mental Health Treatment Court. I thought I'd submitted a contract for Helping Hands, similar to Mr. Joe's for signature by the board.
You have a copy of it with you?
I didn't bring it with me. I can bring it next
Can you
time.
bring it back?
Yeah.
You can bring it back.
I mean, if you don't have it, if you can get across there and get it before we adjourn the meeting, you can come on back with it.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
And as a matter of fact, we'll be back after 1 for.
Okay. You'll be here all day, right? Okay.
No, sir.
Hopefully.
No, sir, we won't be here all day, so don't take all day, you won't make it. Huh? All right.
Good morning.
All right.
Kate Doherty, Adams County Youth Court. I come to you today. I have acquired $35,000 from the Mississippi Public Health Institute that will be used to assist with our family and youth drug court program, to keep our contracts, Chloe Martin Kemp doing drug testing for us, also be able to buy some supplies and some testing supplies and some treatment money with that. So that will run from today's date, if you sign today, through September 30th of '24. And it is there's 2 years left on that grant, so there's a possibility to get some more funds for the following year as well.
All right, do you have a copy of it? Y'all looked at the copy?
So I have actually, this has been sent, I have it right here, I'm gonna give it to Scott, proving him looking at it. It has been sent to your email for a DocuSign, that's how they work, so I don't know how that works with y'all, if you can do DocuSign. But I do have,
Print it so you can put it.
I have a printed copy right here, I brought it.
It has to be on the minutes, it's the only one, you can sign it.
Okay.
I'm not.
If you had board approval,
Yeah.
it's kind of like.
So what we need? Board approval, Ms. Sign. So after hearing Ms. Mary Kay, can I get a motion to sign, be able to sign?
So moved.
It's been properly moved by Supervisor Wilson, properly second by Supervisor Middleton. Will there be any discussion? If there be no more discussion, all in favor, vote by using sign of aye. Any opposed? Nays have the same right, motion carried unanimously.
The thing that I ask with that is I will need a new fund number issued. I will give a copy of this to Brandy and to Ms. Martin. And then I'll need it entered into the AS400. My next thing is, under this.
I need a motion for, yeah, excuse me. Yeah, I need a motion for, allow, our acting administrator to set up a new fund to accept it.
Did you have a budget, proposed budget?
I do, I have it all there.
You should do it all at once, the budget and the fund.
We need the budget in the fund, so I need a motion to approve a new fund in the budget. It's been properly moved by Supervisor Middleton,
Second.
properly second by Supervisor Wilson. Will there be any discussion?
Is there any cost to the county on this, or is this?
No, it's all reimbursable, 35,000.
If there be no more discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right, motion carries unanimously. All right?
Next, with that, I have a new contract for my drug tester that I'll need to have signed.
All right, you heard the
He's currently with us right now. This is just changing his current contract that was gonna end in June to actually extending him through September, since I secured these funds.
All right, so you heard the request from Ms. Mary Kay. I need a motion to be able to sign the new contract extending her original drug testing to another through September of the following year. Can I get a motion? Been properly moved by Supervisor Middleton.
Second.
Properly second by Supervisor Wilson. Will there be any
Yes, sir.
discussion?
Pending review of legal counsel.
Any review of legal counsel? All right. There be no more discussion. All in favor, vote by using the sign. Aye. Aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right, motion carried unanimously.
That's all I have, thank you.
Mary Kay, is it a federal pass-through grant or is it just state?
I believe this is state funded.
Okay,
I will find out for sure.
okay. Thank you. I'm just trying to keep track of all those.
Yeah, it's Mississippi Public Health Institute.
Okay.
3-year review.
I need to sign. All right, Mr. Brandon,
Good morning, Lloyd. How are y'all doing today?
good morning.
I have two things today. I'll start with this first. Today I have submitted my letter of resignation for a 2-week notice. It shall be effective, but I'll be leaving effectively November 20th. And I just want to thank you all for the opportunity that you have given me. I really appreciated working with you all, but I'm going to explore other opportunities. And during that process, during the transition, I will be more than happy to help find someone and train someone to put the county in good hands.
So when is your last day?
November 20th.
We hate to see you go, man.
Yep.
You've been an asset.
Yep. Well, after hearing the resignation of Mr. Brandon, our IT guy, I will ask in two motions. I will ask for a motion to accept his resignation, and in the same motion, I will ask for a motion to advertise for his position
So moved.
starting immediately.
So moved.
It's been properly moved by Supervisor Hutchins, second by Supervisor Middleton. Would there be any discussion?
Yes, sir, Mr. President, I'm just gonna let you know on the front end, I'm voting against you, Lee. No, I'm not gonna knock nobody from doing what's best for them, and if you think you gonna better yourself and going somewhere else, may God bless you.
Thank you, I really appreciate your support.
Thank you again.
And Brandon, I think you have been a really great asset, and you have been really great to work with. You know, we don't find many people as humble as you to fix those problems like that. I know you quiet, but you have been a great asset, and just like the rest of them, we definitely hate to see you go, but I will definitely not hold you back for greater opportunities, so I appreciate the service.
Thank you, I really appreciate that. And I had one other item.
You can carry me.
All in favor, vote by using the sign of aye.
Aye.
And opposed, nays have the same right. Motion carried now. Unanimous.
Okay. Alright. I had one other item. It's dealing with the C-Spire phones. For the past few months, maybe a year or more, there has been like call quality problems that we've been experiencing. We already met with them several times about that situation, and they tried everything, but yet it has been yet to be resolved. So I reached out to Verizon and got a quote from them, and basically they did come out cheaper. And I had did a test around with the Verizon phone with the road department as well, to get all to check out the locations where it was far to reach, and they did have service in those areas. And so it's about $8 cheaper with the monthly line of $39.99 a month for their iPhone 13s, and there is no hidden cost in it. Now, the only con with that is it doesn't come with like the case and screen protector, but I get the cost for that, and within about 8 to 9 months, we will already pay for that case in itself with that. And there's one of the things I want you all to be aware of, if we did was to use Verizon, well, two things. We don't necessarily have to move everybody away from C-Spire. If they have better coverage with C-Spire, then just stick with C-Spire. And the other thing was, with Verizon, since they're not in a state contract, although they're cheaper now, when the contract is up, they can't possibly raise the price. I just want you all to be aware of that as well.
Well, we heard the request, cause I definitely, I know me and the road manager all the time, I'm in the country, and I miss calls all the time, and we communicating on the phone, we drop calls all the time. So,
yeah.
So what's the pleasure of the board? I guess your motion would be people who having bad service, your recommendation would be the people who having service problem in certain areas, allow them to be able to change to Verizon and the other ones to stay the same?
Yes, sir, that's my
Is that the motion? What's the pleasure of the board?
So
It's been moved by Supervisor Gray, second by Supervisor Hutchins. Any more discussion? All in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right, motion carried now.
Thank you. And that will be all that I have for today.
Thank you, Brandon, and hate to see you going, but we understand.
I hate to leave y'all been wonderful. I really appreciate you all's support.
Thank you, Brandon.
Thank you. Y'all have a great day.
Good morning, board. I'm gonna say my 2 weeks notice after my election. On a great note, we awarded our grant we applied for our hazardous material emergency preparedness grant from the state, so we got awarded $1,796 to get laptops to start preparing our firefighters and our volunteers for any hazardous material here in the county. So we did get approved for that. We just need to spread that proper nails.
Do you have any paperwork?
Yeah, I got it. Brittany sent it to you. She should've sent it to you. I'll double check.
All right, you heard the request at the emergency management director. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
It's been properly moved by Supervisor Hutchins.
Second.
Properly second by Supervisor Wilson to spread it across the minutes of grant. There be any more discussion? There be no more discussion. All in favor, vote by using the sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nays, had the same right, motion carried unanimous.
Yeah, it's only a 20% match, and then we split between 3 counties. So we gotta come out of pocket like $100.
All right,
That's all I have.
all right.
Brandon, you can't go?
Yeah. Hey, Robin, you can stand, you can stay there, but Mr. Moreno, what's the name?
Yes.
Moreno. You do have your necessary paperwork now, your contract?
Yes, I do. Mr. Scott's looking over it right now.
Well, let him go.
Okay.
Let Ronnie go ahead.
Go ahead, Rob.
Good morning, board.
Good morning.
First thing I have, adjudicated lot at 116 Booker Road. I've been by, rode by yesterday. That lot has been cleaned up by the resident. So we'll bring that before the board if they, done have the job cleaning it up. I think they're here today.
Right, Mr. President, are you gonna go by and get the limbs and all that?
Yeah, probably at the road rush, I'm sending them to there, pick it up
Okay.
out front. Take them off, yard, the limbs and things, pick that up. You been by there, Mr. Gray?
Yeah, I've been by there.
Satisfied too?
Look like they did a great job.
Yeah, me and you both. So, thank y'all. Kept the county from doing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If y'all would like to leave, you certainly
You can. All
I'm
right.
sorry y'all had to be here this long. If I known y'all was here for that, we could've skipped y'all up. Y'all could've been gone.
Oh, that's all right.
All right.
We learned more stuff.
All right.
Y'all all have a blessed day.
All right.
You too.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Next thing I have, President Gaines, it should be in front of you, the waste tire grant closeout.
25,000?
Yes.
Yeah, I do have the necessary, MDQ, grant closeout in the front of me. So can I get a motion to sign? It's been properly moved by Supervisor Middleton,
Second.
properly second by Supervisor Wilson. Will there be any discussion? If there be no discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Aye. Any opposed, nays, had the same right, motion carried unanimous. All right, Mr. Dollar.
Thank you. Next thing I have, Jackson Point Road, Brooks County has started repairing, that bridge. They do have a contractor started October 1st. It's supposed to last about 18 months.
Okay.
To repair that bridge, or put a new bridge in.
Okay.
Next thing I have, our dozer comes up on buyback in February, and I go ahead and start putting specs together, start advertising for a new dozer. Ours comes up with buyback in February.
Okay.
Does he need a motion for that?
You don't need a motion for it, no. No.
Next thing I have, President Gaines, before you, the illegal dump site on private property.
And it is Zadino Lane. Yeah, I do have it. Anybody need to see pictures? Okay, private property, so what would we do?
I mean, we do it, I just want to bring it for the board, just
Gotcha.
get it.
Oh, you're right,
Should
right.
do it, yeah.
You gotta get an application.
But, and I do wanna think about, remind us, I know it's been a while, it's been a year and a half that we'd have missed the one over off of Stardust. You know back there where, Mr. Lyle stay?
Yeah.
Early Lyle?
Mhm.
We definitely had, so much happened in that time, and I know we done kind of missed him, so I just want to put that back on your mind. So do we need a motion for you to clean that lot up? That dump
We
site?
already got it approved, I can get Steve on that, I'll go ahead and get that.
Yes, sir. So we need a motion
On this.
on this, cause it's on private property. I need a motion to approve to clean this illegal dump site up on Ladino Lane.
So.
So it's been properly moved by Supervisor Middleton and
Second.
properly second by Supervisor Wilson. Will there be any discussion? If there be no discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed? Nays have the same right. Motion carried unanimous.
Next thing I have, you have it before you, is a, dead pine, 79 West Wilderness. Can't get it leaning back towards the house, I have to get a price, get somebody to top it, to get it brought down, or get it, get that before we forward to 7, and it is on our right of way.
It is on our right of way, so, after hearing the request of the road manager, can I get a motion to get a price, bid to get a price on that, dead pine on our right of way, 79 West Wilson. Been properly moved by Supervisor, Gray and properly second by Supervisor Wilson. Will there be any discussion? If there be no more discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have, same right, they looking at you, pass it back. All right, you got that taken
Next
care of.
thing I have, you have it before you too, is a request from the school system, take our long arm and cut, the ditch around the football field and on the bench road.
We already approved that.
No, but I just got another request.
We approved it.
Another
Oh, yeah.
request.
We proved something.
We did, we cut it earlier on.
Oh,
They just
okay,
said that they won't cut it again, they
Oh.
won't cut the fences around by the softball, you know, where we can reach
Okay,
the long
okay.
arm.
Well, I do have a request in my hand, and it's been properly moved by Supervisor Hutchins and properly seconded by Supervisor Gray to approve the cutting of the ditch along the, football field. Will there be any discussion? If there be no more discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right, motion carried unanimous.
Okay, next thing I have, there's no, have a phone call. Supervisor Gray had called me and I told him we'd already discussed it, but it's tomorrow and both precincts gonna get those, facilities cleaned up. I do know, I didn't see Darryl here today, I was gonna speak with him, I know the volunteer fires, I guess they clean theirs, I know the one that across the mountain where our barn is. I know Meg had spoke with Brandy early on, she said she was gonna get with the cleaning contractor, but I mean, we can.
I talked to the election commissioners, and what I was told was each one of them is responsible for making sure that the precincts in their district are
We
covered.
can get our building, I know we
Okay.
get our building clean, but I just wanted to get the volunteer fire, I didn't see Darryl here today. I know Brad's gone now.
And I did email Daryl, and he
You
said he'd
did?
get it taken care of, yes, sir.
All right, we will have ours. Okay. Other thing I have, in December, we normally have the, county luncheon. Show a little appreciation to the guys, we still want to do that this year.
I would hope so.
Yeah, I would hope so.
Okay, it looks like the date for that, if the safe room is open, would be December 14th on a Thursday.
We need to check with
I'll
Brad.
get with Brad on that, but I just wanted to ask the board, we plan on doing that.
Yeah.
Also give a command too and let her know what the date is after you get with Brad, so she can make sure we get a reminder.
The other thing I have, we will work off on the 14th of December, the road department will be on call 24/7, as we normally are, we'll return January 2nd.
All right.
That's all I have.
Any question for the road man? If there be no more questions, we thank you, Mr. Dollar. Departmental reports next.
Thank y'all for the phone.
Thank you.
Good morning, board. Excuse me, Chairman, Mr. President, the contract for mental health, I just approved it. I jotted down, I changed the date and then added that it's susceptible to the budgetary constraints. I'm sorry, Chairman.
Hold on one second. So, the attorney has, reviewed the contract, that Mr. Bruno had. So what's the pleasure of the board? Can I get a motion? It's been properly moved by Supervisor Middleton, properly second by Supervisor Wilson. Will there be any discussion? If there be no discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Aye. Any opposed? nays have the same right, motion carried unanimous. All right,
Thank you.
Okay, so, good morning, board. I just have one request today. I submitted paperwork for the, substitute collectors conference that's gonna be, November 13th through the 15th. And I just needed approval for to attend.
hold on, I have Terrence Bailey. I mean, just for
Yes,
yourself?
sir. Yes, sir.
I have you up front. I do have the necessary paperwork. It's been, properly moved by Supervisor Gray.
Second.
Proper second by Supervisor Hutchins. Will there be any discussion? If there be no discussion, all in favor vote by using sign aye. Any opposed? Nays have the same right. Motion carried unanimous. Thank you, Mr. Bailey.
Have a good day.
Before Jenkins, Brad still in there. Can we- before
Robert?
Brad still-
Oh, 1 second. Brother. What the, is this up? No, this off. This something over in there. You don't have a day off. I looked at the date, I seen a 4-hour day, but that was on 10/19.
I did, that was,
Long time.
yeah, we signed, that, took off that afternoon, after dinner, 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock, whatever she was, yeah, you need to bring forward board stuff.
Hi.
Just tell the board, you know, whatever
It
the
needs to be
date.
approved.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Please, thank
it was a 4-hour train, job out for Mr. Dollar on the 19th. Just need to, be able to sign it, cause you know he answered to us. It's been properly moved by Supervisor Middleton and properly seconded by Supervisor Hutchins. There'll be a discussion. There'll be no more discussion. All in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right. Motion carried unanimous. All right. Mr. Engineer, Mr. Ford.
I only have 2 items. Tracking on the project for Kingston Road, Lowell will be a road on the road. Preliminary plan will be submitted on this Wednesday to state aid. After which I will hope that our plans are progressive enough so we can, omit the office review stage and go straight to the PSC stage. We hopefully get us to construction, firstly for that project. Magnolia Bluff sites 2 and 3 in Lincoln Heights. Contract is complete. Magnolia Bluff site number 3. Currently working on site number 2 as well as Lincoln Heights at the same time. During the previous board meeting, you guys approved pay application number 1. So with the pay application actually being on the plan docket today, we will be submitting a reimbursement to NRCS in the amount of $131,472.25. And that will include NRCS portion for pay application number 1.
So that means we're approving our pay order and he's getting our application get repaid by NRCS. So we're right on the schedule where we need to be.
Yes, I mean,
right now, so that's good.
yeah, we appreciate that. I mean, you know, cause that was a big problem, that we had. You know, I think we was scared about $780,000 that we was about to, lose back to the federal government. So we really appreciate you taking care of that for us. So can I get a motion?
You already
approved it?
Yeah, that motion was done, we approved that application, I just need to, once the doc got approved, now I can submit to it. I can submit to NRCS.
We appreciate it.
What that being said, the second pay, the contract also submitted a separate pay application in the amount of $98,055.66. So, we do have that application, I will review it, and we go through the same process, approve it, pending my review, and then also get the board's approval for the board president to sign the reimbursement form for that project, for that application as well.
All right, do I need a motion for the signing?
Why not?
Yep.
Don't
Motion to be able to sign. It's been properly moved by Supervisor Hutchins, properly second by Supervisor Wilson. Be able to sign the docket. Will there be any discussion? There'll be no discussion. All in favor, vote by using sign aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right. Motion carries unanimously.
Well, I need approval for the pay application, contract application as well as the engineering application as well.
Time on with that previous motion, I just assumed that you get paid on this contract.
Yeah.
That's really all I have, unless there's questions for me, I know there are, so I can answer.
The only question I have is, have you, heard back from Mr. Herron on the Deerfield project?
Yes, I sent an email out on Friday.
You
It
sent
came
me
from him.
something Supervisor?
Yes, ma'am. He's saying that he could do the work, it's just that the residents are responsible for providing their own supply line once they run the meter. So they'll run the water line extension and they will install the meters, but the affected dwelling will have to run their own supply line to that meter. So I just wanted to make sure that was the case. I also want to check with, I guess, NCWI compliance to make sure that what process he wants to do with ACWA, look like they're gonna be doing the work, that's okay to have a sole contractor on that.
Can you send that to me again?
I'll send it to you.
So what we need to do is get with the residents to.
The ones that sign that paper,
Paper.
just let them know that they're gonna be responsible for paying
For their service.
for their
For
service
their
line.
service line. We don't have, do we have a cost?
No, that is.
It depends on how far the meter is from the house, it'll vary, each one of them will be different property.
I'm not sure we can use MCWI funds for that, because the county portion will be extending the line and running the line, which is 20 feet, or to the county proper line, whichever one is shorter. That'll be what.
And I think that was submitted to them before we even got
Yeah,
them to
before they signed
sign.
that letter, we
Yeah,
had
so
on
they
that
did
letter
say
that
they
they would
would.
do their supplies and they signed it.
So,
Still need to get with them, but it was on that. 'Cause I-
right. So after that, they can move, you can go ahead and move forward with that.
If MCWI allows me to just go to the ACWA, if they may need with bids and all that stuff, I just wanna make sure ACWA can do it.
Okay.
Okay, and Mr. Ford, I saw you earlier, and you said they have marked, Winona Drive for a speed bump.
It's Winona, right?
Winona.
Okay, I just wanna make sure. It's
Depends
Winona.
on who you talking to.
Yeah. Yeah, we did, like I said, the first speed hump, as soon as you turn onto Winona, you'll see it shows, there's two trees on the left, you'll see one there. You go into the curve, the last house before you get to the intersection, you'll see another one location shortly after that.
Okay, Robbie, have you inspected that?
I'm writing it down now, I'm going to.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it, Mr. Ford.
Yes, sir.
All right.
If there be no more questions, I really appreciate your.
Any questions from Mr. Ford? There be no questions from Mr. Ford, we thank you.
Thank you all.
Good morning, board.
Good morning.
Okay, I've got a request for approval for unmarked units. Total is 15 with the county, and I've got a list for y'all showing all of the 15 units that are on. And that's the normal number.
What is it? So, I'm not familiar with that, so
I've got.
somebody explain
who they're
something.
assigned to, and VIN numbers,
You have all the vehicles or they're
Yes.
just unmarked? Okay.
all of them.
All right, that's what y'all need?
Yes.
All right.
Okay, the second one is the trash report for October.
Oh, hold on 1 second. We need a motion, that's why I was trying to make sure. So can I get a motion to accept?
So moved.
It's been properly moved by Supervisor Hutchins.
Second.
I guess second, properly second by Supervisor Wilson. If there be any discussion, if there be no discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sound aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nays have the same right, motion carried none. All right.
Okay, this is the trash report for October.
Trash report.
District, one was 0, District 3, District 2 was 3, District 3 was 0, District 4, 8, and District 5 had 33.
The people stop littering,
No, it just stop picking it up.
We've been short
I know, I didn't pick it up.
Yeah. Mr. On that note, Mr. Nita, I don't know if you was aware, I know one meeting, I guess about 3 meetings ago, the sheriff came in and he was supposed to be getting us some price on tag readers. So we can, he had explored something about tag readers with littering and getting garbage. He had asked us about it. And I know it's a busy time of the year for him. Do you know anything about it?
I don't, but
So we'll just catch it after tomorrow, so.
I'll be sure to get him to bring it up in the next meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Also, this right here is a report for the state. I need to get y'all signature. Picking up trash on state highway.
On the highway. So, alright, I need a motion to be able to sign. Giving them the right to pick up on state highways, can I get a motion? Been properly moved by Supervisor Middleton and properly second by Supervisor Wilson. Will there be any discussion? If there be no discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right, motion carried now.
That's all I have.
Alright, just need that sign. Alright, departmental reports next. If there be no more departmental reports, we're coming to the table. Supervisor Gray.
Yes, sir, Mr. President. I did attend the Delta Region Authority conference, and I got with Southwest Planning, Ms. Lynette Smith, and I talked to the county engineer and about some additional funding that we may use for Morgantown Road, and I talked to the co-chairman, Dr. Wiggins, and he just told us to go on submit the application. One thing I'm gonna tell you about submitting an application, if you submit an application, you got a chance to get something, but if you don't ever submit an application, you know you ain't gonna get nothing then. So, do I need to make a motion to get Southwest Planning to submit an application to get some additional funds for Morgantown Road? Matter of fact, that is a motion.
Second.
It's been properly moved by Supervisor Gray and properly second by Supervisor Hutchins. Now what to allow Southwest Mississippi, Planning and Development to submit for more money for Morgantown Road, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Or any other project.
To submit from other, to find other means of funds from other places?
DRA.
The DRA.
DRA.
All right, will there be any discussion? If there be no more discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nays have the same right, motion carried unanimous.
And Mr. President, that's pretty much, that Delta Region, conference. I would say in all my years, it was one of the best conferences I attended because there was so much information there and, so much money. They covered 4 or 5 states, but, you know, if you submit your application in and your criteria is what they need, then you got a opportunity to get some funds. So I don't know if we're gonna get it or not, but at least I hope we just submit the application. And I'm glad the people from Booker Road came. I didn't know they was here that long. They did an awesome job in cleaning up their property. And one thing I can say about cleaning up property, you know, the county go in and clean up the property. If they put the little sign in your yard and you fail to clean up your own property, and then the county can go in and clean up your property. I'm glad the county didn't have to do it because, you know, everybody can't afford that fee that the county charged. So they was able to clean up their own property. Robert, please don't forget to go by and pick up them additional limbs, because they did a great job. Last, my sympathy goes out to the Blandon family, the Ferguson family, the Owens family, the Johnson family, the Chapman family, and one of the greatest basketball college coaches in the history. That's just my opinion. Nobody get mad. Coach Bobby Knight and his family. Whether you like him or not, Coach Knight was one of a kind, and he was an awesome coach. I know he won 2 or 3 or 4 championships in college. And I want to wish all the high school football teams good luck in the playoff. I know we still got a couple in the midst of in the playoff. And I just want to, I ain't going to elaborate too much on what happened, but I just want to thank the community for all the phone calls and all the stopping by my place of business and all the support over the last week or two, and what happened, I'm not gonna elaborate on, but I mean, it make you feel good when you get them many calls and them many stops from individuals, and let them know that they do care about what you do in this community. One thing I can say is this. At church Sunday, the pastor was preaching from Corinthians 12, 1 and 10, and the topic was, if you don't understand, please don't misunderstand. And I know we got a lot of people that don't understand a lot of stuff about county government, but please don't misunderstand what's going on with county government. And that concludes my report. And I want to remind everybody tomorrow is election day, and please go out in record numbers and vote for the candidate of your choice. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, department report, to the table, Supervisor Hutchins.
Okay. First, I just want to know, are we still up for doing any interviews for county administrator? Because as you go to these conferences, you hear about all these funds that are out there. We need someone to be able to apply for these funds and know about these funds to go ahead and apply for them. We're missing out on so much money. And as they say, it is so much money out there now that we'll never see this kind of funds again. So we need someone to be able to, apply for these funds. And county administrator usually is on top of that. So I just wanted to know if we thought about interviewing for any county
I think
administrators.
what was said, we definitely need a county administrator, and we have applications. But I think what was said at the table with Supervisor Gray, we didn't get a bunch of applications because they don't think people that wanna apply for the county administrator and stay 2 months and not possibly be able to be reappointed in January. So I think, I don't know, that was the last comment made, and that's the last thing we talked about, but
So we're gonna wait till January before we do anything?
I guess that's what
applications?
I wonder if we need to reapply or send out a notification again, once again, and
Let's do it.
for December.
Well,
And hopefully we'll have it.
Have somebody by
Have
We're
somebody.
gonna have one meeting in December though,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So
So
the first January meeting's gonna be a barn burner, isn't it?
Right.
hope not.
So, I mean, we need to do something, because we can't continue to miss out on these.
Yeah,
money.
well, let's, can I get a motion to re-advertise
For how long?
for 30 days again?
Yeah, let's do it 30 days.
So, and that'll give us a
I'm
chance.
just asking.
No, I'm just saying, I'm leaving it to the board. I think at least 30 days. What you think? All right, I need a motion for re-advertise for county administrator for 30 days.
I'm making that motion.
It's been, motion made by Supervisor Hutchins. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second, proper second by Supervisor Wilson. There be any discussion?
Yes, sir. Let me look right here. 1 second. 30 days from the day.
December 6th, which will be
December
after our first board meeting.
That's what I'm saying.
So we got to
That's
go
why
back.
I'm asking.
3 weeks, you
So-
wanna do 3 weeks?
Just run it to the end of the month, run it to December 1st.
So, amended motion running to December 1st.
So will we be gonna have interviews by then?
So that's my
See,
question.
that's the thing, we're gonna have to fit on interview too.
We're gonna have to get the applications, go through them, and then set up interviews sometime.
Why I said 30 days, because you probably ain't gonna hire nobody in December.
Well,
They're not, might not be reappointed, so we'll
Well,
have it in January. So.
last December, we had that one board meeting that ended up being 4.
That's right.
So,
So,
Agree.
and we know that's not gonna be the case.
I agree,
So if y'all wanna do it 30 days and set a date,
even if we have to run it.
but are the people that's submitting applications, are they gonna be available to come down to December?
Well, we won't probably interview until January.
We don't have no administrator in the first meeting.
Or we'll just have to play it by ear, we'll see if we get back some better applications or applicants.
So we sticking to 30 days?
It's at the pleasure of the board.
3 weeks.
I mean, I think if you run it till December 1st, that gives Corvette time to print them out and give them to us at our first board meeting.
All right, but that's what it'll be. December 1st, if this sound like that's the pleasure of the board. That's the minute that motion. Instead of 30 days, December the 1st.
I'm gonna let Brandon know right now.
All right. Will there be any more discussion? If there be no more discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign.
I do have discussion. Where all will that be posted, Brandon?
So where we have posted in the past is, Corvette places it on Indeed, Brandon places it on our website, and then I have been also placing it with MAS.
That's why I just said, make sure MAS.
MAS, that's what I said.
Yeah.
Any more discussion? All in favor, vote by using the sign. Aye. Any opposed? Nays have the same right. Motion carried now. Okay.
Okay, I wanted to know, do we still have, Mr. Lambert on payroll for doing anything?
He's contract, yes, ma'am.
So how long would he?
So we paying him?
Yeah.
As needed or
As
by
needed.
hour?
On an hourly basis.
So have you got a check, or what is he doing?
Well, I think he was working on the budget closeout
He was.
and setting our, cash balances, getting that straight. I'm not sure what he's working on now with Chucky. They had to put everything on the AS400, the auto pay, not auto pays, but the ones that are regularly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's doing this, that, and the other.
He's been coming in, 1-2 days a month since the budget closed out. So
You said he's putting everything on auto pay.
On the regular payments, there's a schedule that you can put them on so that it comes up and gets docketed like it's supposed to.
I just
He's
wanna
helping
know
them
if
take
he's still
advantage of the
able.
AS400 system.
Like our lease purchases and any appropriations, anything like that. So.
He's got another item that he's gonna have to kind of get done over with one of the elected officials that'll end up, helping us out, so.
All right.
I'm confused, man. I thought he was hired to get us through the budget period. I didn't realize we was gonna continue to pay him and for this long. I don't know what he could be doing. You say he still comes in?
He came in, I think, maybe 1, maybe 2 days, and all of this is on closing everything out, getting everything into the
So all this
system.
is still pertaining to
Yes.
the budget?
Yes.
So how much are we still paying him, the same thing?
It's $50 an hour, so it just depends on how much hours he does.
It's not salary.
Mm-mm.
All right,
The way he's explained it with Chucky, since she started in the whole bookkeeping department, basically started, there's a couple that were here before. They really didn't have time to get trained or whatever, and so they're just been kind of making ends meet, and so he's now helping bookkeeping get straight under all the software and whatnot, so.
Apparently, from what I was told, that there's a lot of things that we weren't doing with the computer system we have, that we weren't doing it, so we were missing out on a lot of things that could have tabulated a lot of the things that we were so off on in the past. So he's letting everybody know how to do that, because he apparently has a lot of expertise in that. I mean, he did a phenomenal job for us getting our budget straightened out.
Okay, I just wanted to know what's he still. Okay. Next thing I had, Scott, have we turned over the home repairs to Sophos Planning and Development? Because when I asked them up there, they still said they hadn't gotten the criteria for the home repairs that we wanted to do.
I thought I turned it all over, but I'll check in with them on that.
Can you please do that? Because I questioned them again about it and they said they hadn't received anything. Okay, next, I don't know where we are or what we're gonna do with the AARP money, because in 2024 is the deadline to spend this money, this funding, and we right up on it, and we don't wanna lose this funding, so we need to make some decisions of what, where are we gonna go with this funding? And how much we have left of it.
How much we have left?
I'll have to pull it together, but I can email it to y'all.
That's one thing I was gonna ask about too. Angela, I still think we need to pay some of the debt down to free up money for the general fund. There's no sense in just going out and spending it wildly. I think we just need to pay the debt down.
We definitely don't wanna lose it.
Certainly,
we
so-
need- We right up on 2024, so we need to find out exactly how much we have left, get our debt, see what debt we have.
What would be the best to
What-
pay off?
Yeah. And what else funding, what we need to use, what we need to do with this money. It'd be crazy to give it back or lose it. And the next thing is also with the, road bond funds. We still have the road bond money out there that we need to make a decision on too. I know nobody wanna hear this, but it's still there.
Explain to me what you're talking about, or
The
what.
road bond that we had.
Yeah,
$500,000.
$570, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Out of paving, so.
Okay.
I mean, we can't just sit and do nothing.
So what are our options?
Road striping?
Well, have we already paid for, Kingston Road, what's coming up, or that hadn't even got to us yet, has it?
No, that has nothing to do with.
That has nothing to do with that,
No,
okay.
So what bond was the 92, 96 roads we did, what striping we did on those major roads that need to be done, and this was what was left out of that bond that we had.
And our options for the money are?
Striping the road, or any road repairs or striping, road bond.
And we need to spend it before December the.
There's no time to spend
Okay.
it.
No time, but I mean,
But
it's just
it's
sitting
sitting there.
We ain't gonna be able to do none of that around this season.
No, they're not gonna be able to asphalt anyhow, it's getting cool now, those
Yes,
neighborhoods,
get
they
to put
shut down a
asphalt,
few days. Last week in those neighborhoods, city did what they say. Do anything.
What's that?
We got time.
Okay.
Okay,
I
as
just
long as
wanted
we're
to
not
bring that
gonna
up.
lose it, okay.
Okay, I just wanted to bring it up. Okay, that's all I have.
Supervisor Miller.
Mr. Neely.
Yeah.
1270 Highway 61. That property backs up to York Road. There appears to be some illegal dumping.
Okay.
Could you send someone out there, please, to see if they can find some names?
Okay.
And at that point, turn it over to the road department for an illegal dump site. But we need to see if we can find some names because it's continuous and something needs to be done.
Is it 1270 West?
Yep. Well, yeah, but it's actually on the backside of that, on York.
Okay.
Somewhere across from maybe 405. York Road, Mr. Neal.
Okay.
Or maybe even 445. I'll show you when we get done.
Okay.
Only other thing, the list Supervisor Gray had, I'd like to add the Novak family, to that prayer list. Lady lost her husband, those two boys lost their dad, and, it's not easy on anybody. That's all I have.
All right, Supervisor Wilson.
Okay, Tubman Circle and getting the lots cut over there, where are we at on those?
We adjudicated those as menace properties, so it should be ready, yeah.
So we need a motion to get them cut, or what?
Yeah, already been.
Well done, but I mean, they could, last meeting, it would, I think it was a couple of weeks or something, it had to go through and then we'd be ready, so it ought to be up for.
Yeah, cause we made the
Yeah,
motion
we did
already.
that.
So, can we get those
Yeah.
cut? Okay, any idea when?
Out here this week.
Okay.
Yeah, October 6th, I think.
Okay, Warren mentioned it a while ago about when Mr. Ford was up there about the $700,000 we almost lost. Are we straight with all that JKS stuff?
I mean, they closed everything out and done all that, but I know it's one warranty item, I know on one project they got to do, but it's all been closed, I think they closed it out, they're trying to get it all closed out to get everybody reimbursed and paid, but I didn't know on Providence Road, it's supposed to be a 8-inch pipe put in instead of a 4-inch pipe that they got there. And I've been watching it.
That brings up another question about Robbins Lake. That we in the insurance pocket now?
I went ahead and put 2 of the cyclones in week before last, cause I knew winter was coming on. And I went ahead and put 2, for the cyclones that got washed out, and I wasn't able to brace them off and everything because they were gonna change it out. So, but I did, week before last, we had to put 2 cyclones, winter's coming. We gotta keep that lake down.
Seemed like it'd be a better time than right now when we don't have had any rain. The lake's gotta be low.
It is.
It's been perfect time.
I mean, nothing on that, Scott?
Nothing's on that. We can go ahead and fix the project, and we're gonna have to anyway. We're going to file suit to recover that money. I was waiting to the airport. That fiasco got closed out. I think it's closed out with the runway part, because they go damages on that one as well. So. But you're gonna have to fix it at some point.
Getting worse?
No, cause it rained, but,
No, and there really wasn't nothing to get worse, it was the design pipe that we put in. I mean, I say we put in, as it was recommended to the engineering company.
DEQ is not gonna approve
Correct.
the dam until the pipe is
Correct.
replaced, because the engineers chose the wrong pipe.
Oh, I thought we had approved to get the pipe.
That's not, that was on some, EWP, but this is different. Like I said, I got an email from them telling us what pipe to order, and that's right where we're at, is what we ordered, is what I got the email from them.
So what we need to do?
We can talk to the contractor, and if he wants to go ahead and do it, he can do it.
And Scott said, the county's gonna have to pay for it up front somehow, and then once you pay for it, then you gotta go back on the engineer.
So what kind of money we talking about?
150?
Maybe a little more right now, but that was the estimate I had got 6-8 months ago or longer, from the same contractor that done the project. Said he'd go back in and do it for this
So
amount.
the longer we wait, the more money it's gonna cost.
Correct.
Can we use that road bond money to do it and then get paid back, or
I'll look and see. Might be able to.
then we won't be out a bunch of money?
Add that offer money or either one, then
There
you
goes
get it
some
put
ARPA
back.
money.
Yeah, then you get it put back.
That's why I say you need to
where it
look
come
at
from,
the,
whatever.
get something.
The road money would be better because the
Yeah.
ARPA money might be used for cash balances until the beginning of the year.
Okay, all right, well, I've been going to my voting precincts to make sure they're cleared out. And I always have a lot of fun at Duncan Park at the canteen, cause I have to go in there and move tables and chairs every time, cause they got somebody else, the VFW's in there now. Wasn't quite as bad as it was last time, but I know everybody's gotta do the same thing in the morning. Go make sure these poles are open and, everything's running, so it's gonna be a long day tomorrow for everybody. I did have Casey Novak on my list as well. He's a great guy, and what a shame for somebody that talented to crash a plane and die like that. It's just that crop dusting's got to be one of the most dangerous jobs there is, and he was really, really good at it. But it only takes one mistake out there. And the other thing I had was the CARES Act money, and I don't know. Scott, can you tell us what we need to do, or can y'all, Brandy, can y'all get together and tell us next meeting what we need to do to try to, what we can hit with that money to make the most for the county as far as paying down the debt and getting our cash balances up and saving money for the county. And that's all I had.
All right, Deputy Clerk Page Dean,
I don't have anything.
Chancellor Clerk Brandon Lewis.
I have a couple of items. I spoke with Chandler and Amy Gatto last week, and MDA was holding some funds for our next phase of Bellwood, and we received a letter from MDA. It says, please find this letter as Natchez Inc.'s formal request to reassign the 2 site development grants to Adams County. This entity is the beneficiary of the awarded funding for Bellwood levy completion. And they request the reimbursements be sent to Natchez Inc. on behalf of Adams County. So just in that vein, need to have approval to set up a new fund in the AS400, as well as to get a new account set up at Concordia Bank for receipt of these funds from MDA.
You heard the request of the transfer clerk, can I get a motion?
So moved.
It's been properly moved by Supervisor Gray, properly second by Supervisor Middleton. There be any discussion?
Yes, sir. Ms. Brandon, what is the, reasoning for a new account?
That's just for purposes of any of these funds that we've ever received. The agencies have always asked that we have a separate account for keeping up with the funds in the different phases. So we had to do that with the first phase and the second phase, and then this is the next phase we're going with.
Thank you.
There be any more discussion? All in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right, motion carried unanimously.
Okay.
All right, next.
We need to have approval to spread across the minutes the new policy of insurance for the pool.
You heard the request of the transfer clerk, can I get a motion? It's been properly moved by Supervisor Hutchins.
Second.
Proper second by Supervisor Middleton. There be any discussion? If there be no discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right, motion carried unanimously.
I need permission to spread across the minutes the October mill report for the Adams County Sheriff's Office.
You heard the request of the transfer clerk.
So moved.
It's been properly moved by Supervisor Hutchins.
Second.
Proper second by Supervisor Gray. Will there be any discussion? If there be no more discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Aye. Any opposed? Nays have the same right, motion carried unanimously.
I need to spread across the minutes the December bond renewals for Chrisetta Thomas and Tabitha Middleton.
You heard the request of the chancellor clerk, it's been properly moved by Supervisor Gray. Proper second by Supervisor Middleton. Will there be any discussion? If there be no discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right, motion carried unanimously.
With the increase in the amount of the sanitation, the amount for the transfers from sanitation over into accounts payable needed to be increased. So the draft authorization amount needs to be increased from 10,000 to 20,000, and I just wanted to get board approval before I authorize that to the bank.
You heard the request of the chancellor clerk, can I get a motion?
So moved.
Been properly moved by Supervisor Gray,
Second.
proper second by Supervisor Hutchins. Will there be any discussion? If there be no discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right, motion carried unanimously.
We had a request, we're kind of winding everything up for our previous mental health region. There is some funds from the sale of some of the buildings that's sitting there that we need to use to pay down some of the debt. Becky Bowie has been the agent for this, or the escrow agent, but we only did it limited, I think, to a couple of different items, debt items, and so they're asking for us to do a resolution to authorize her to pay the remaining outstanding debt, and so just need to authorize the president to sign that, and this will hopefully get us close to closing out
So
the.
moved.
You heard the request of the chancellor clerk.
Second.
It's been properly moved by Supervisor Gray and properly second by Supervisor Hutchins. Will there be any discussion? If there be no discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nays have the same right, motion carried unanimously. Next.
One item to be
Don't be nervous. Just gotta stand up.
Yeah, I don't know if that was, I guess you said you could make it.
Yeah. I don't have my other phone, but
You're right.
I didn't know, she sent an email from, did y'all get an email from?
Hang on, so we're up for that.
She's had somebody out on emergency sick leave, and she's down to one clerk over there.
Sit down on one floor.
Yeah. He finna read it.
She have two.
Says, I'm writing you.
He says he has one.
Show you regarding a matter of clerk shortage. Let's see what the letter says. Hope this letter finds you well. Due to unforeseen circumstances, I will not be able to attend the scheduled meeting in person. I guess you mean the board meeting. We have working with one clerk working the front and one clerk in court these few weeks, with one clerk out permanently due to medical. One of the main points is to address the vacancy for the deputy clerk position that has arisen due to Ms. Edwards' departure. I believe it is crucial that we advertise this position as soon as possible to ensure a smooth transition and to minimize any disruption.
She sick. No, she lost somebody sick.
Yeah, the person who was sick was the one we hired and then hired.
Uh-huh.
No way. She had too many people over there.
So she was just requesting, I guess, to,
Okay, she says, is it supposed to be her plus 3?
Yes.
And she said, she's her plus, she's only got 2, so we have to hire somebody. Well, somebody, is that
So
out
she's
sick for
requesting.
a long time?
Permission
Somebody-
Yeah.
This is the one she just hired last. It's the one that's out.
correct,
And not coming.
But she down to 2 and not have 3.
right.
She has 3 plus herself. That other one made 4. That's right. There was too many people over there.
So what's the pleasure of the board?
We say when somebody go out, it's not doing any more harm.
I just need to
That
know,
person that we would hire, we should have held up on anyway.
what's your pleasure? How you feel?
Is somebody sick and out,
They're not coming back.
they ain't coming back,
Yeah.
so that means you got her, 3 more?
I have
2 more.
No,
I think it's 3.
It's
I think
3.
Yeah.
I misunderstood what that email said then.
Maybe she need to come
She
in
needs
and
to
explain it to
That's what I
us
know. She
herself.
always,
As a department
Send
head,
stuff.
she needs to come present this to the board.
Yeah,
she always
that would need to
sends
happen.
That everybody question.
and she never sends.
All right. Well, I guess it's
Person.
the pleasure of the board, Brandon.
Okay.
Is send her back and she need to come in person, to present it so people can, the rest of the board that have questions can answer.
Okay, I'll email her right now.
Huh? I thought she said she was gonna be out.
She just always sending things, texts and emails and nobody never get them.
All right.
One person.
Huh?
You asked her. Tell her.
Oh.
Okay.
Did you give a chance?
I think she
Yeah,
watched this
so, and I'll handle that in my report.
Okay, okay. All right, Brandon, that's it.
Yes, sir.
All right, turn kind of slow.
Yeah, as we were talking about, Chandler's asked that those bids be taken under advisement for the Bellwood levy, because we want to discuss with the current person who holds the option, to pay for the deficiency of the bond. So any motion to take that under advisement?
You heard the request of the
So moved.
attorney. It's been properly moved by Supervisor Gray and properly seconded by Supervisor Middleton. Will there be any discussion? If there be no discussion, all in favor, vote by using sign aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right, motion carried unanimous. All right, attorney?
I have reached out based on what Chuck has talked about for a tax anticipation loan, should we need it. There's a good chance that we may not need it, but we,
Wait till next meeting.
Go ahead.
but we may go and get a line of credit just in case that we would need it. That way it's there if we have it. It would be up to $1.5 million for that on a tax anticipation loan. I'm waiting back from our auditor to make sure that we can do that without having to put it for bid. I'm 99% sure we don't have to bid that out. Last time we used our depository to do it. So I should have something for y'all back within the next week or so, and then we'll have it the next meeting.
All right.
Mr. President,
Yeah.
for the people that's in the audience, could you explain what a tax anticipation loan is?
You are able to, so the county doesn't get any revenue or its major revenue from ad valorem sources. They don't get that until January. So from October until January, you have to rely on your cash balances to make ends meet. If there's a shortfall on those cash balances, you can borrow based on your anticipation of tax loans. It's happened a couple of times in the past, or once in the past, I guess I should say. Last time we got one, we actually never drew on the line.
So they're gonna charge us interest on,
Probably, they charge you interest on if you draw. If you don't draw, they don't charge anything.
so if we just do the line and don't draw, then we don't lose nothing.
You don't use anything.
So what you need us to do?
I was just telling you as a
You can't
FYI.
do nothing because he ain't got it straight yet. He said he'll have information within a week.
Okay.
I wanna make sure we don't have to put it out for bid before we took any action on it.
Yeah.
Last time we just went to our depository, I'm pretty sure, I think we probably do the same thing, and our depository will do it.
That's what I'm saying, that's what I'm saying.
So,
And
that's not spending it,
that's not spending.
that's a whole different thing.
No.
One thing, you spending money on something,
We ain't spending, we getting
No.
it back.
yeah,
But that's not spending.
You
Oh,
said the
getting
deadline was
reimbursed.
January 1st of 2024, so we're not gonna have the money to pay back then, so we won't have it to spend. So I don't think you can loan it to the county.
Yeah.
We're gonna come back with a report on that, bring it out and
Yeah, that's
figure
what
it
I'm saying,
out.
I don't know about that.
Alright, so it's good.
Knowing it was getting close to that time.
Alright, move forward, Scott.
Yeah, so last January, we had accepted, this is just a little cleanup item here, last January, we accepted a, lease purchase bid, except the equipment was never ready until much later, so the bid basically lapsed. And so I was just asking for a motion, just for cleanup purposes, finding that bid, was void, we never acted on it.
You heard the request of the attorney? It's been properly moved by Supervisor Middleton and properly second by Supervisor Wilson. There'll be any discussion. There'll be no discussion. All in favor, vote by using sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right. Motion carried unanimous.
This doesn't take any board action, I wanted to make sure the board was comfortable with me doing it, I don't really wanna do it. Southwest Mental, but it's one of those things where you're willing to help out. Southwest Mental Health no longer has any employees, they still get public records requests or medical records requests. And another region, one of the attorneys ended up being the records request finder or whatever. And so Reggie, Jones, I guess, cause doesn't like me so much, volunteered me to do it. I said I would do it if the board, unless the board didn't want me to do it, there would be a nominal amount of money I'd make off of it, but again, don't really want to. Is the board okay with that?
And what would you be doing?
When people I'll have to get medical records from the current holder with NetSmart. I'd have to have those records at a computer, and when people make records requests, we didn't have to comply with them.
So, Mr. President,
Yes, sir, Mr.
you know your business better than I do. Is this gonna interfere with anything else you're doing for us?
No, I believe I can get my guy that works for me to be able to handle all that, because he does all my records. I have to do the same thing when we're doing PI stuff, so.
So you comfortable with doing it?
That's right, I don't mind doing it.
Alright, so you need a motion, just.
No, you don't need any motion, I just wanted to make sure y'all are okay with it. And then I got, we need to amend, did you do this, the Bellwood levy grant agreement? You just did that, didn't you, about the money being held?
Oh, yeah, for India,
Yeah.
So that's taken care of, and I got a couple items to determine.
Alright, well, I come to the table, comes back to me.
President Gaines.
I have,
Could I ask one question?
yes, you can.
Are you picked up, what was the status on it today about getting the check or whatever?
it was, let's see,
Thought it was
supposed to be on the docket
brought up.
today.
Okay, that's what I said, I thought it was, okay, thank you.
Alright, this Allen Larry, Mississippi, Development Authority Commission, monthly job report, 11/3 and 10/30. I need a motion to be able to sign these documents. Make it a motion.
So moved.
It's been properly moved by Supervisor Gray,
Second.
properly second by Supervisor Hutchins. Will there be any discussion? If there be no discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nays have the same right. Motion carried unanimously. Hey, do you need a copy of these? Here. All right, I think we took care of that. The Neil Schaefer rail spurs, that what you just took care of, didn't it, Scott? You read? All right, we got our bridge report is gonna due by November 30th. If the county hasn't already taken any actions, please provide documentation, and this will be for the bridge on Old Roxy Road. You have to have signposts or weight limits and
We got it.
all the posts that already been.
We're not through, but I got the same email. We're on.
All right. You don't need that? Okay. Veterans Day program at Capella Lincoln Community College. Please join us on November 10th at 10 a.m. in Nelson's Multi-Purpose Room, Red Watkins Career Technical Center for Veterans Day program. Our guest speaker will be Jeff McCool, retired Army. All right, MDAH, and that's the historic. I need to spread across the minutes or get a vote. They are wanting to add Holy Family Catholic Church to the historic Natchez and Adams County District. The board is meeting on November 14th and 2023. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
It's been properly moved by Supervisor Hutchins. Properly second by Supervisor Wilson. Will there be any discussion?
Who is that from?
Holy Family Baptist Church, MDA, Mississippi Department of Archives and History.
So, whole family already on board with what's going on?
Yeah, they send it, they always send them, every month. All we do is accept the spread on the proper minute. All in favor, vote by your side, aye? Any opposed, none has the same right, motion carried unanimous. So Scott, before I get into all this other stuff, I do have a unique one right here. I need you to, this was Justice Court for Judge Minor, and sending a pay request, and a reimbursement request. No, rent for hotel. It's like
It's
traffic.
reimbursement?
Yeah.
We don't have to approve reimbursement.
No, it's 10-2, but it has not been pre-approved.
Oh, travel.
They didn't approve it, so I'm just saying, how would that go? It wasn't in the minutes, so it had not been approved, so it had.
To the coast? Oxford. We did approve that. I remember approving that.
I remember approving some
approved
stuff,
that.
but I don't.
For her to go to Oxford.
Hand to me, and we'll make sure that it was pre-approved, and if it's pre-approved, we can go back and do it.
We pre-approved because I remember she was saying that we asked that was the other judge going, remember?
I do remember approving some, but that's why I asked, but she said it was a training in July, so I didn't see it on record. So I just wanted to make sure, cause I didn't.
Cause we asked about the other judge, and we said that we was gonna go ahead and approve it just in case. You know, we asked if she have her paperwork over here.
All right, I have training, this is, Ms. Clementine Lewis, that's November 28th. This is the site, this is, in Clinton, Mississippi. I also have Demetria Davis training. Homestead. And I also have Clementine Lewis travel file, Mass Mississippi Association of Supervisors to Flowood, Mississippi. So, which one you wanna do?
Do Clem and D for Homestead first.
Okay, let's do Clem and D for Homestead.
So
Been properly moved by Supervisor Hutchins. Properly second by Supervisor Gray. Will there be any discussion? If there be no discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay, that same right, motion carries unanimous. All right, now I need approval for Ms. Clementine Lewis to the MAS conference, December the 5th through the 7th. It's been properly moved by Supervisor Gray, properly second by Supervisor Hutchins. Will there be any discussion? There be no discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right, motion carried unanimous.
Did we approve our travel?
Huh?
Did we approve our travel for that?
I'm getting to it. Now we got Ms. Clementine Lewis for approved travel to the Midwinter Conference. That will be January 1st, January 22nd, 2025, and that will be also in Flowood, Mississippi. Been properly moved by Supervisor Gray and properly second by Supervisor Hutchins. Would there be any discussion? If there be no discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right. Motion carried unanimous. All right, I do have Supervisor Hutchins and Supervisor Middleton travel to new orientation in Jackson, but I'm gonna ask for all of our approval for the new orientation. That's everybody sit on the board that travel. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
It's been properly moved by Supervisor Hutchins. Properly second by Supervisor Wilson. Would there be any discussion? If there be no discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Motion carried unanimous. It is December 5th through the 7th. That's said 5th through the 7th. All right, this is gonna be training for E911. I have Ms. Rita Strickland for a 16-hour orientation class, December 11th and 12th, and this is Katanya Jackson, Takira Clark, and Tia Minor, all from Ms. Fail, E911. They'll be in Canton, Mississippi. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Been properly moved by Supervisor Gray, properly second by Supervisor Hutchins. Would there be any discussion?
Give me those names one more time.
It's Rita Strickland, Miss Katanya Jackson, this is Takira Clark, and it is Miss Tia Minor. All right. Bond 097-234-31. It's a pay rate change, and this is effective 11/6. Title supervisor, $15.60 an hour, $448. So what is what department is this?
On 097?
097-230-431. It don't have the department, it just had the department fund. I don't know.
You got a name on it?
Hold on.
Marlon Swayze.
That's E911, eh?
And this is for
He
what?
did that already.
Supervisor.
For a supervisor.
Yeah, 911's up front. 097.
It's just another position?
What's the, is it 097-233 or 230?
It's a move to the title of supervisor.
297.
Yeah, 097-230-431.
That in their budget?
Changing positions then.
Yeah. Yeah. See it coming.
That's under employment.
Yeah.
That's new employment?
That's a line item for your salary.
Yeah, 431 is radio operator dispatch.
So that's in the budget?
they're on track right now, but,
No, this position,
yes, sir, yes.
What's the pleasure of the board?
so move.
It's been properly moved by Supervisor Gray. Can I get a second?
Second.
Proper second by Supervisor Hutchins. Would there be any discussion? There be no discussion. All in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right. Motion carries unanimous. All right. Now, this is another. This is a pay rate change, and this is from Ms. Sharon Jefferson. This is a payroll. This morning, Ms. Sharkey told me that she wasn't gonna be here, but she did leave a note. And I told her I would read it for Ashaki Martin, Comptroller of Adams County, is requesting a pay increase for Sharon Jefferson payroll clerk effective October 1st, 2023. She has been working dual position human resources and payroll clerk. With her assuming the human resource position, she has been reaching out to other counties to assist her with the proper guidelines to make sure that Adams County Human Resources is running effectively. She has also acquired training through online meetings and gaining more knowledge about the specific areas of human resources. With board approval, she will also be traveling to the other counties to receive hands-on training. She is also seeking classes so she can receive the human resource certification. Thank you. So, what's the pleasure of the board?
What's the pay increase?
$18. I don't know what she was making. $18.37,440. I don't know.
What was she making? We didn't know what she was making.
You need a budget increase.
001-125-404.
She needs to do
So
a
what-
budget increase form so that we can all look at it and know how much.
Yeah,
it
you
is.
just can't
Yeah.
come.
And what did y'all do with the salary for? I mean, we'll send a budget increase form. So what did y'all do with the salary in the budget for the human resource person? Where did it go?
It went to help offset the increases that we had, or the part of your. We had to cut $900,000 from the council.
I understand, but you know, this is the question that I'm looking at. I mean, it's not about who you cut. Now, one thing about it, I'm gonna be fair to everybody else. And I'm not saying this, we gonna get a fund to do this, but this is how we start problems. This is how problems start, and this is how we get off the track. You cannot, and I'm not saying what you do, but I'm saying what goes for one goes for everybody. When you start to, no. I was asking Scott what he said. I asked what happened to the salary. What I'm saying is this, because we went through it before. When we increase duties, I'm not saying what we do. You know how it went. We had the person last year, and I'm not trying to rehash old wounds, but it's not right for to increase certain people when it comes to adding additional duties and not increase others. You don't add, we should not be, because it's inconsistent. If we add duties to other people, I just feel like we should make sure everybody gets paid, and not just take their salary and move it, because you know one thing, we have had this in the problem, we added other duties to folks, and then if you don't add pay to them, if you add other duties to some folks, then we add pay to them. So we gotta be consistent across the board. That's all I'm saying. So her salary, some of that salary would have been there. It's no different. I'm not just saying in that department. That's no different. I use the road department. If Robbie take a man from a pothole patcher, if he move him, he learn and move him to a dozer operator pay. He does not stay with pothole patcher pay. He paying for it. He makes sure he have it in his budget. And so before we come back and have, hopefully we can get everything smooth and move forward. But I'm just saying, we can make her request, do her a pay request, but I don't wanna work a person with dual duties 6 months before they're being looked at or working dual duties. That's all I see.
Warren, we're not saying we're not gonna increase her. We're saying what happened to the human resource is, that was a part of the cut, that's gone, that salary. That was in with that cut. What she has to do is a budget amendment, get the amount that she's asking for and ask for a budget amendment. Then we
Understood.
accept it. That's
No,
what it is.
understood. That was understood. I just knew Scott said, I asked him what was the salary because, we have been cutting pins and needles, you know, we in our budget situation, so we don't really have a lot of money for raises, you know, we turn them down all the time. So I was just trying to make sure we stay on track, not go over budget, because even though they're doing dual jobs, so guess what? That money got to come from somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why I was asking, why was it took out? It was took out of the budget to kind of cover some of the shortfall, but at the same time, we had additional duties that's gonna be paid for, and I just wanna know where the money was gonna come from.
General funds,
Gotcha. All right,
come from general funds.
all right. That's good, so we'll ask her,
So just get.
so we just ask her to send it for a budget. All right. Well, down to that, glad we run a little more, but I will say, you know, God allow things to happen all the time. And sometimes things that seem to be bad don't always turn out to be for your bad, they turn out to be good, because sometimes God really needs, he can put things in your life to allow you to have intimacy with him. That means you spend that time. So, you know, we have a lot of weeks and things that went on. You know, I think one of the things that I really hate to rehash, because I don't rehash something, but you know, I was called, my picture was put on Facebook to say I embezzled money. All three of our pictures were put on. I didn't see it on, my cousin called me and said we was on, what's the other name? Peter Ronaldo.
Just do like I'm gonna do.
And, yeah, thank God.
My legal man,
But I'm just saying, thank God for, opportunity that, to be able to sit and do business, and I pray to God that we continue to move this county forward, because, you know, we want to set an example to move our county forward. And just because every obstacle be put in your life ain't always for the negativity of it, we gotta learn to stay positive. And I think over the point of that, it made me learn to do this. If you trust him in a little bit of thing, you can trust him in a lot. The only thing that I stand for, as long as you know you do the right thing, you can't stop from being persecuted. So at first I got mad, then I thought about it. I said, you know, you want to try to live a better life, but you don't want to be persecuted. That's a part of it. All you got to do is have yourself right. And so, you know, we thank God we're going to move forward with that. But I would say to the public, tomorrow is voting day. And I will ask that each and every person that's registered to vote, go vote for the candidate of your choice. We had a really, really low turnout in our primary election. And so I would say, please go vote for the candidate of your choice. So with that, I need a motion for closed determination. Been properly moved by Supervisor Hutchins and properly second by Supervisor Wilson. Will there be any discussion? If there be no discussion, all in favor, vote by using sign aye. Any opposed, nays have sign right, motion carried unanimous.